it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals!
The Roncalli High School Alumni Association is proud to support our current Royals and their athletic endeavors. If you'd like more information on how you can better support your alma mater, contact Director of Alumni Services Aaron Hommel at ahommel@roncalli.org or by phone at 787-8277, extension 242.
Steve's
A
Flowers
proud
and
supporter of
Gifts is
Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547
Harding Foreman is a full-service printing and brand
or visit us
communications
at Indy
company. From creative services and strategy to print, signage, digital output, warehousing and fulfillment, mailing, e-commerce storefronts, and even mobile solutions. They are dedicating to helping their clients get the most out of their brand communication efforts with the quality they can see and results they can be sure of. Get the most out of your brand communications. Certified to be the best, Harding Foreman.
We're going to play some music real quick. You just scored by Lisa and Karen.
Royals pregame show. Royals set to take on Columbus North, your 8th-ranked Royals, coming in at 1-2 on the season. Fresh off a hard-fought loss to Chittard a week ago, 14-7 the final in that one, but new opportunity tonight back in the friendly confines of Bob Tully Field, and joining us as he does each and every week, Royals head coach Eric Quintana. Coach, thanks as always for making the time.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. Thanks for having me. I'm excited for tonight.
The way I led off things, I want to start there. Back in the friendly confines of Bob Tully Field after a brutal 2-game road trip where you're heavily tested, but you're hopeful that your group got better and better on the road trip. All the same, though, there's nothing like being back on your home field. Take me through that for you. How nice it's going to be for this group to be back at Roncalli Stadium on a Friday night.
Yeah, it'll be great. We've been pretty successful at home. Our guys like playing at home. We got our routine. We got all of our good stuff. No excuses for the last 2 weeks. But, yeah, it'll be good to be home, be in front of our fans, our students, our family, our administration. And, again, I think you said it perfect, just another opportunity to grow as a young and experienced football team. So I'm excited for tonight.
Coach, I know it's only a 2-game sample size in terms of the last two for Chittard and Franklin Central. And if I'm out of turn on this, clarify it for me. But I felt like there was a significant leap forward with this group on multiple phases compared to where things were against Franklin Central to where things were against Chittard. Obviously, for you, it's a win or lose sport, right? We get that. But you also stressed to us you want to see growth week over week. I felt like you saw that on both ends of the ball to the point that there's a scenario where Roncalli walks out of Chittard with a victory a week ago. Did you see it the same way on film?
Yeah, for sure. I think especially, our defense, which we knew going in, we were going to be extremely talented on that side of the ball. We give up I hate to use the word lazy fade route in their end zone, which can swing either way. It was a third down play, but other than that, we're getting pretty good over there. We got Nathan Turner back up front, defensive line wise, which helps relieve a lot of stress and a lot of pain up there. And I thought that group as a whole played well, coached well, and they do a lot of great things. I think the growth that everyone wants to see, and I know I'm speaking for everybody, is that we want to see our young offense keep improving. I think that it's a great opportunity to take another, not just another step, but another leap forward in our progression as a football team for sure tonight.
You mentioned the defense, but what area do you want to see over this next 3 or 4 game stretch the biggest leap take forward for this group as a whole? You can go either side of the ball. Where do you want to see the biggest leap forward for this group?
Yeah, I think I'm with everybody here. I want to see our offense take a huge step forward and just executing the game plan. We've been meeting for a long time since December last year of trying to find an identity for this football team, this 2023 Roncalli football team, and we have it. We just got to execute, and it starts with our guys up front. We got to be better at executing the game plan, executing the blocking scheme. We spent a lot of time on there, and we got, all 5 of us are brand new, literally brand new. But they're doing a great job at buying in. They're being physical. When we talked about missed assignments, it's not missed assignments. It's just seeing things at a speed that if you've never played the game before, it's hard to explain, but there's a difference between practice and scout and game speed. Varsity linebackers are different than your scout team linebackers, and all that good stuff, in which we've done as a coaching staff of trying to get them ready, of doing more best on best segments and practice throughout the week. We just got a banged up football team that we're trying to preserve for the long haul here, because I feel, and our staff and our team feels, we got a team that can make a pretty deep run in the playoffs. And I know it. I've done it. I've seen it. I'm stressing it to our guys that, yes, we've had 2 tough losses, and trust me, and I think I've said it every week that we've lost. I hate losing. I absolutely hate losing. And I know our community hates losing. And our guys hate losing, and it's tough. It's tough to see all that stuff. But, we had a great talk on Thursday night about we're in a ditch now, and we can see the top. We just got to keep fighting. We're not gonna call the helicopter to come and save us. We're gonna fight out of this ditch, I promise you. And our guys are seeing it. We had a great week of practice. We had a great attention to detail on Thursday. I think we're going to see a lot of explosiveness from our guys. And again, I guess to answer your question, we want to see the leaps and bounds offensively, but I'm extremely excited about the physicality that our team brings. I'm close with the Chittard staff, and I got a call. Not that I wanted a call from them this week, but they called me and they said, Coach, we've never been hit like that in 6 years that we've done this here at Chittard. So our guys are physically there. We just got to execute. So silver lining there. So yeah, I want to see the offense take leaps and bounds. I want the defense to improve it all. We can't give up big plays. We can't give up a 15-yard fade route on 3rd and medium plus. So we got room to grow there as well. So again, I'm excited to see our guys compete tonight.
Your third of 4 6A matchups on the schedule this season takes place tonight when you welcome in the Columbus North Bulldogs, 2-1 on the season, fresh off a 35-6 win over Southport, win over Columbus East the week before that, and then lost their opener to Decatur Central. What stands out about the Bulldogs? How will they test your group tonight, and what's the key to a Royals victory?
Yeah, they're offensively for them, they're creative. Their coach does a great job. He's an offensive-minded guy. Their head coach. They'll do a little bit of trickery, and I think they got a tough group up front. We'll be tested again. They got a tough group on the offensive side of the ball. Their O-line is big. They're physical. They play hard. They got some skill guys that can go on you, and we'll be tested. I think they do some lot of stuff, and they got their identity offensively, and they're going to do it. So we got to do our thing defensively and take another step forward and not give up big plays, and again, just dominate the line of scrimmage. And then for us offensively, they got a good group coming back. They got a good scheme, and then to take nothing away from Columbus North, they got their record is good. They lost a heartbreaker to Decatur Central, who beat New Pal a couple weeks ago. So no shame in what they're doing. Just for us, we just got to take progression again. Just what I said last question. We got to strain through blocks. We got to do our job, and Collins got to take a huge leap forward this week and taking what the defense gives us. And then again, I know it's cliche, and if you turn on any Friday pregame show or Saturday pregame show, they'll say the same thing, but it holds true through time. We got to dominate the line of scrimmage. If we can establish the run game, it makes Collins' life a lot easier, and it makes Coach Otley and I's life easier on the offense. Those are our keys. Again, I'm confident in our guys, and I just want to see us just play Roncalli football, just be dominant, physical, and just wear them down. So that's our keys.
Last question for you, Coach, and I'm going to ask you this same question on September the 29th, or the lead up to that game against Louisville Male, and I'll ask you the same question when sectionals start. To keep a long story short, the most difficult class I had in college was finite at Indiana. And I flunked the first exam. There's 3 tests that are there, right? And I'm panicking. I'm in this whole oh no, I'm going to, flunk out of college, the whole drama that a freshman in college has, right? But I pulled myself up from my bootstraps. I rallied, and I think I wound up a B- for the semester, which, considering where I was, it's a good comeback. I say that because the regular season, in a lot of ways, that class is divided into really thirds if you look at it game by game. As you look at where the season is right now, 3 games in, what grade, your honest grade assessment, would you give the 2023 Royals?
Yeah, it's a great question, because I'm always honest with my guys, and our expectation is to win.
Right.
I mean, that's just where we are. So we're 1-2, and that's below 500. So sure. 500, but if you go 50%, that's an F.
Sure.
So hate me or love me, that's just the competitive side, and that's the standard that we hold. I love this football team. I love our guys. I love our coaches. I love this program. I love this school. But that's just where we are, and that's our standard. It doesn't deviate to who we are. It doesn't deviate to how I feel about my guys. My guys know how I feel about them. My coaching staff knows how I feel about them, but we're winners. Yep. Hopefully that motivates everyone in our community. Right now we're 1-2. Nobody's happy in our building, and nobody's happy in our blockhouse. But again, it's us, and we talk about it. And parents, you're part of us. Administrators, you're part of us. Jimmy, you're part of us.
Thanks, Coach.
So our expectation stays high. We want to win. So we're going to work our tail off, and we know what we're capable of doing. And as coaches, I don't let our guys look past any opponent, zero opponent at all. So we're fully focused on Columbus North, but I'm also I've done this long enough that I can see where this team can go. We can make a deep run in the playoffs, and that's our expectation. And so we're not happy where we are. So we're going to fight our tails off, and our guys have done a tremendous job. I'm extremely, extremely happy and proud of our 4 captains and the way that they've handled this 3-game stretch. And 3 games doesn't define who we are. But again, we work to win. So we're working our rear ends off to win football games here. So I'm excited about tonight, and I appreciate the opportunity to coach these young men tonight.
Hey, Coach, just like 2013 me a decade ago, that's crazy. Just like 2013 me with finite. Hey, the F out of the gate, it might be rough, but I have no doubt that this Royals team is going to continue to get better and better. And by the time we get to season's end, I'm very confident that grade is going to be much better than it is right now.
No doubt. There's no doubt about that. Our guys work their tails off too much. Our players, our coaches, our families, we work too hard. So there's no doubt we're going to get this thing going, and I can't wait to share the journey with everybody.
I'm looking forward to being a small part of that and going along with the ride. Coach, always appreciate you taking time for us each week. Best of luck tonight, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jimmy. We'll see you guys.
That's Royals head coach Eric Quintana. We'll be back with Dan's keys to the game after this. You're listening to Roncalli Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Forest. Our mission is to establish and maintain the highest level of floral value and customer service at comfortable consumer prices. For the best and freshest flowers in Indianapolis and surrounding areas, Steve's Flowers and Gifts has exactly what you're looking for. Check out our wide selection of flower arrangements to make your next occasion memorable. Call 317-787-3431 or visit us at 3150 East Thompson Road.
Providing comfort for families in their time of need is the main concern of the staff at Laukveldhoff Funeral Home. We are a small family-owned firm and take great pride in the personal service we offer and the family-like atmosphere at our facility. At Lauk Vedoff, we only serve one family at a time, providing compassionate care and affordable options, truly part of your community. Lauk and Vedoff Funeral and Cremation Services. Call 317-636-6655.
On the campus of Roncalli High School. With Dan Lauk, I am Jimmy Cook. Royals looking to get back to 500 when they host the Columbus North Bulldogs tonight. Royals ranked 8th. Columbus North unranked in Class 6A. So we continue on our pregame show as the Royals break the huddle at midfield and we get ready for the coin toss. Let's send it over to Dan for Dan's keys to the game.
Thanks, Jimmy. Excited about this one. It's a good opportunity for the Royals to bounce back from 2 rivalry games and get in one that's really a budding rivalry. We've seen some really good games between these two teams over the past 5 or so years. I think offensively tonight, the key to the game for the Royals is to loosen up what is a really stingy defense on the opposition sideline. Columbus North is not going to just allow you to have 3-4 yard gains all the way down the field. They like to junk it up in the box quite a bit. So we're going to have to rely on some big plays, which the Royals haven't necessarily shown as much this year outside of the Southport game. Look to number 2, Christian Sweezy, to have a big game tonight. If he can pop 1 or 2 big plays, I think the Royals will win. And I already mentioned it already last week, but efficiency in the red zone. The Royals have shown the ability to move the ball between the 20s. It's when they get inside the end zone where they haven't been able to execute and punch the ball in. So another step forward. We talk about a young team being able to grow throughout the season. Let's see if they can take that step tonight and find a way to execute in the red zone. And then defensively, Jimmy, trust your eyes. Columbus North is going to run all kinds of different formations at you. If you look at the statistics, they don't run one single formation more than 10% of the time. So they're going to get in a lot of different formations, everything from a power eye look to empty 5 wide. So you're going to get a lot of different things. The key there is to play vanilla defense and just trust your eyes. And then they've got a really solid running back pardon me, let me get his name right here, but Nico, I'm missing his name now. Geno Prescott. Geno Prescott. I wanted to say it because I love that name, but Geno Prescott, number 5 for Columbus North, is a really tough runner. So to be able to bottle him up, they're a 50-50 run-pass team. So to be able to play balanced football and limit the big plays like we have when we've been successful this year is going to be big for our defense.
Those are Dan's keys to the game. For the first time all season, the Royals lost the toss. So the Bulldogs win the toss. They choose to defer. To quote Matt Hasselbeck, the Royals want the ball, they're going to score. It's the goal anyway, out of the gate.
Hey, you take that, right?
Take that 8 ways to Sunday. Zach Dozier and Sam Rader back deep to receive for the Royals. A picturesque night at Bob Tully Field as the countdown to fall is on. You might think from the pumpkin spice latte promos that it is already fall, but we still have a little less than 2 weeks to go before the fall solstice or the autumn solstice. Game time temperature 72 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Royals in their home reds. White numerals lettering in the red trim. Bulldogs in their white unis, blue numerals lettering and the black trim. They'll be taken by Rader, who stepped into the end zone, but the officials didn't see it, so he'll take it out to the 10, now to the 15, breaks tackle to the 20, 25-30. Raiders got space at 35-40. One man to beat, and he's finally brought down at the 45-yard line. Great field position and exactly what the doctor ordered for the Royals to start this game.
Yeah, I believe that was actually Dominic Morelli, Jimmy, and 24-25, easy to get mixed up. But, yeah, excellent start. Like you mentioned, it looked like his foot started in the end zone, but referee didn't call it. Dominic did a great job getting upfield, following his blocks, and Royals start out with a perfect start, good field position.
Royals have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Colin Ash in the gun. I believe that's Ben Brandenburg to his left hip. Claps once, take the snap, give us to Brandenburg up the middle, keeps those legs churning to the 50, lunging for the first down. but he's tackled from behind. Be a gain of 8. We'll call it 2nd and 2.
You mentioned it's senior night, Jimmy, and Ben Brandenburg getting the first carry there, but I'm not sure that's just a senior night carry. I mean, I'd love to see him get the ball more this game because he's been explosive on offense.
Well, we'll see if it ends up being the case, but the talk around the program has been that maybe Brandenburg transition into a workhorse role, and instead of being, we'll hold that thought on this 2nd and 2, handoff is to Brandenburg. No, correction, it's a keeper by Ash. He'll bounce it outside, has a blocker in front of him to the 45-40, lowers his shoulder, and out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So a keeper there by Colin Ash, enough to move the chains and then some for the Royals.
Yeah, and if Colin's done anything really well in these first 3 games, now 4 games, it's been using his eyes and just playing really good mental football. A great read there. Defensive end crashing down on Brandenburg. Colin pulls it, first down.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' 37-yard line. Ben Brandenburg had been sparingly used as a running back, primarily used as a linebacker. Expect that to potentially shift as he sparingly is a linebacker and primarily as a tailback on this 1st and 10 from the 37. He is the back. The give is to him up the middle, and he's jumped on from behind, falls forward for a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and I mentioned it a little bit in the pregame, Jimmy, but Columbus North is going to pack the box and really force you to take shots on first down. So far the Royals have been able to carve out that defense, but I would anticipate in these 2nd and long situations the Royals having to take a shot here.
Ash looks to the sideline, now gets set on 2nd and 8 from the Bulldogs' 35, opening drive of this ball game. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Fake to Brandenburg, rolling right. Pass is caught by Elsner. He fights through 1 tackle, dives forward for an extra couple of yards. It'll set up 3rd and medium for the Royals. Elsner's been a favorite target in this offense for Colin Ash the last couple weeks.
Yeah, he had 7 catches, 10 targets last week. So that was the go-to play last week, a little play action, bring Elsner across the formation into the flat. Columbus North did a good job staying home on the backside.
Bunch wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's Morelli on this 3rd and 6 from the Bulldogs' 33. Ash looks left, and the play is blown dead. He hit his open man, but I believe we're going to get false start on the Royals. Let's wait for confirmation. It is indeed a false start against Roncalli, so it'll make this a 3rd and long.
Looked like the guards got a little bit antsy into their pass sets there before the snap, and unfortunately, because I think, obviously the play was blown dead, but Rudy Shutley ran a really nice route and was wide open.
Doing their best Jawan Taylor impersonation.
Yeah, except these guys call it.
Oh, happy times. 3rd and 11 for the Royals. Ball on the Bulldogs' 38-yard line. 10 minutes left in this first quarter. Royals opening drive. Bunch to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff, Brandenburg up the middle. He has a hold of the 30. He may go. 25, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Royals. Ben Brandenburg, a 38-yard scamper. And just like that, the Royals draw first blood on their opening drive. It's 6-0.
Hey, 3rd and long. You're thinking pass. Columbus North lightens up the box just a little bit, drops back into a zone. Great blocking up front by the offensive line, Zane Baker, especially at that right guard position. And then Ben Brandenburg's got the Jets to do the rest. There's the big play we were talking about.
Levi Whistler on for the point after try to make it a clean 7-0 lead for the Royals. Good snap, good hold. The extra point attempt is good. Exactly what the doctor ordered. The Royals take the opening kick and drive with it all the way down for a Ben Brandenburg 38-yard touchdown. With 9:50 to play in this first quarter, 8th-ranked Roncalli 7, Columbus North nothing. Back in a moment on the Roncalli Media Network.
At Peterman Brothers, we know how critical AC can be to your comfort. And we want to make sure you're comfortable in every season. That's why right now, when you install a qualifying AC system with Peterman Brothers, we'll include the furnace for free. That's right, Indiana. The furnace is free. And if you schedule today, we'll install your new system tomorrow, guaranteed. Visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule online in seconds.
In this opening quarter from Bob Tully Field with Dan Lauk, I am Jimmy Cook. 5 plays, 56 yards, 2 minutes and 10 seconds to pay dirt, capped off by a 35-yard Ben Brandenburg touchdown run. And the Royals have the lead, 7-0 against Columbus North. Levi Whistler set to kick it away.
Bulldogs back to receive. It's an end-over-ender that is going to miss the end zone by about 5 yards. That's where they'll take it out from. Out to the 15, to the 20, 25, out to the 28-yard line is where the Bulldogs will set up shop for the first time tonight. Well, now all of a sudden, for the Royals, it switches back from a mentality standpoint to what you wanted the season to be from the start. Get an early lead and let your defense, which is the backbone of this team, carry the day.
Absolutely. This is not a Roncalli team that's built to come back from behind. So we saw it last week, jumping out into an early lead against Chittard, and then leaning on the defense. Unfortunately, couldn't put the ball in the end zone again that night. But to be able to get this quick score early and get the defense, which has been solid all season, back out there is good news for the Royals.
Asher Ratliff in the gun with a running back on either side of him. 2 wide receivers to the right. Handoff is up the middle, and the Royals snuff it out for a gain of about 2. On the carry, I believe, was Sam Mermino. They utilized both him and Gino Prescott on either side of Ratliff. They'll call it a gain of a yard. 2nd and 9 from the Bulldogs' own 29-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. Once again, 2 in the backfield. Operating the shotgun is Ratliff. He'll clap once, send a man in motion. That's Prescott. It'll be a screen out to Prescott. Has blockers, trying to find an edge. Full burst of speed. He'll pick up the first down all the way out to the 40-yard line. Enough to move the chains for the Bulldogs.
And there's the modern-day football, Jimmy. Find a way to get the ball to your best players in space. Gino Prescott listed as a running back on the roster, but he certainly can catch the ball too. So they liked the numbers they had on the perimeter there and went with it.
They'll call it 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' own 40-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. This time it's another screen, a wide receiver screen this time, and it's caught near the sideline for a gain of 5. It was over on that far side. I believe it was Braylon Thorman. It was indeed. So he'll pick up 5 on the screen on the far right side of the field. Make it 2nd and 4. They'll call it a gain of 6 from their own 46.
And Columbus North coming out in a nub formation where you've got the tight end all alone up top to their sideline, to the weak side this time, which can be tricky to fit the run against.
Royals show 4 down linemen. No pressure shown at this point on 2nd and 4. 3 wide receivers to the left, none to the right. 3-step drop. Ratliff rolling. He'll scramble, pointing downfield. He'll take a shot. Has a man. One-on-one. Incomplete. And it's broken up in coverage. Great play there by Parker Doherty. He never turned his head around, but he didn't do enough to interfere with the wide receiver and, in fact, deflected the ball away. It's 3rd down.
Really difficult play. When you get the quarterback out of the pocket and no pressure, it turns into a scramble drill, and Doherty had his back turned to the ball, but he played the hands properly and was able to break that one up.
So it'll call 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. Royals defense looking to give it right back to their offense and force a punt. 1 wide receiver to the left and none to the right. Sam Mermino in the backfield behind Ratliff. Here on 3rd and 4. Claps once, take the snap, give us to Mermino, and he is swallowed up and brought down. No gain on the play, and the Bulldogs will be forced to punt.
Yeah, and great job crashing down there on the edge. Royals were able to identify that quickly. It looked like it was Cole Kessler. You know, you get in that position, it's 3rd and 4. If Columbus North is able to pick up 2 or 3 there, they might think about going for it. Now in 4th and 5, it's an easy punt situation. So good series from the Roncalli defense.
Sam Rader stands at the 20-yard line of Roncalli, back to receive the punt. Jace Emmett trying to pin the Royals deep. Here on 4th and 5 from their own 45. It is a sidewinder that'll sky to the 20. Rader has it there. He'll run east to west. Jump to the 20, 25. Nearly had it taken away, but able to use his strong forearms to secure the football, which is the main goal there for the Royals. It's not as great a field position as they had to open the game on the kick return, but it is past the 20, and it'll be marked at the 26-yard line for 1st and 10 Roncalli.
And it's a big deal, Jimmy. When you've got a punt returner that's not afraid to catch the ball with defenders in his face, that is a huge field position advantage. He lets that ball fall. It could be sitting inside the 5 right now, so the Royals will take that.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ash in the gun on 1st and 10 from the 26. Handoff, Brandenburg lowers the shoulder. And correction, it was not Brandenburg on the carry. Instead, it was Zach Dozier. He'll be close to the line to gain. They'll mark him, I think, about a yard or two short. It will be a yard short, so 2nd and 1 from the Roncalli 35. 7:25 to play, first quarter. Royals 7, Bulldogs nothing. Again, the give is to Dozier, and this time he's met by a brick wall. No gain on the play. In fact, maybe a loss of 1.
Yeah, Royals go a little tempo there, and we've seen it throughout the season. The Royals like to do that on 2nd and 1. Get up to the line fast and then clap and then retrace and look back to the sideline. They didn't do it there, probably trying to catch Columbus North off guard. Columbus North did a nice job, being disciplined and playing off the snap and not listening to the count and playing their position.
3rd and 2 from the Royals' own 34-yard line, trying to move the sticks. Bunch formation to the right next to the line of scrimmage. One wide receiver to the left. Ash takes the snap, give us to Brandenburg. He hesitates and is wrapped up and dropped by the Columbus North defense. That'll get a round of applause from their traveling faithful, and the Royals will be forced to punt this away. Yeah, well, let's see. They're leaving the offense out there for a second. It's 4th and 1, but it's a long one. They are going to keep the offense on the field. 4th and 1 from their own 35. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. Ash in the gun. 13 on the play clock. He looks to the sideline, changes things to the line. Now 7 on the play clock. Ash has Brandenburg to his left side on 4th and 1 from their own 35. Claps once, takes the snap, gives to Brandenburg. He pushes a tackler over. Second effort's going to be close. He's got the first down. The dice roll pays off in a big way. Channeling his inner Dan Campbell is Coach Quintana, and it'll move those chains for the Royals.
I love the signal that it gives the team, though, Jimmy, being able to say, hey, we're backed up, but I trust our offensive line and our running backs to be able to pick up a yard, and they did so there.
Ash will look to the sidelines for direction. 5:50 to play, first quarter, 7-0 Roncalli. 1st and 10 from their own 37. Ash once again in the gun. I believe it's Benich behind him. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ash takes the snap, high snap. He'll keep it himself, and now it's a throw late to the right side, caught by Shutley. He lost his balance, then gets to his feet on the 45, nearly a first down. Ash faked the handoff, acted like he was going to run, then it turned into a wide receiver screen that picks up 10 thanks to the extra effort by Rudy Shutley.
And if you've watched Roncalli football over the past 5 or 6 years, that's been a staple of the offense. You think back to Aiden Leffler and Eric Moyers running that quite a bit. It's a triple option, essentially. So the run option, and then you've got the option to flick it out to the receiver if you want to.
1st and 10 from the Royals 47. 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. It's an option. Pitch to Dozier. He's got a block, but the flag flies in the backfield. No gain on the play despite the effort from Dozier. And there's going to be some penalty yardage tacked on as well for, I believe, a hold on the attempted option by Roncalli.
Yeah, those perimeter runs, it looked like possibly a block in the back or a hold, like you said, Jimmy, and putting yourself behind the sticks here in 1st and 20 is not where Roncalli wants to be. Nobody wants to be there, obviously, but with the type of offense that Roncalli hasn't been able to show those explosive passing plays yet this year. It's going to be a battle to try to pick up 6 or 7 over the next 2 plays and get it to a manageable situation.
So the penalty yardage will move things back and really put the Royals in a world of trouble. A sideline warning has been issued against the Bulldogs as well. So bumps them back 10, makes it 1st and 20 from the Royals' own 37-yard line. Don't need to get all that back in one play, but would like to make this a 3rd and manageable by the time the dust settles. Wide receivers bunch to the right, 1 to the left. Ash in the gun, takes the snap, handoff. Ben Brandenburg stumbles, is tackled from behind. Perhaps a gain of 2, maybe 3. It'll set up 2nd and about 17. And I was being more generous than the officials down there. They actually called it just a gain of 1, so 2nd and 19 upcoming. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Brandenburg the tailback. Ash in shotgun. 4:35 to play first quarter. Royals lead 7-0. 2-step drop. Pressure comes. Ash has a go ball down the field. Contact was made first, but it's off the fingertips intended on that far right side for Connor Kessler, and now it sets up 3rd and long.
Yeah, I like the throw there. He put it where the defender didn't have a chance, and it did give Connor Kessler a chance to come down with the ball. But, those 2nd and 20 situations, 3rd and 20 now, there's not much in the playbook you have to try to pick this up. So key here is to not make a huge mistake and just limit the damage.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for the Royals on this 3rd and 19 from their own 38. Ash in the gun has one man in the backfield. Claps once, takes the snap. It's a design screen. Brandenburg has space to the 40, and he'll be tackled at about the 46-yard line. Make it the 45-yard line, I beg your pardon. Not near enough to even get back the penalty yardage. And now, for the first time tonight, the Royals will send Levi Whistler in the punting unit out on the field.
Yeah, disappointing series, obviously set back by the holding penalty. But as I mentioned in the pregame, Columbus North is not going to give you anything. Even on 1st and 20, they still were playing aggressive in the box, and Roncalli wasn't able to loosen up that defense much.
Jackson Haston, the man back to receive the punt. It's a line drive from Whistler that'll take a bounce the 20 to the 15. Haston has decided to pick it up, and he's swallowed down at the 10, but a flag flies late. Be a block in the back, you'd hope, on the Bulldogs. The penalty marker stands at the 10. That'll move things back about half the distance if it is indeed against the Bulldogs.
Another great punt by Levi Whistler and great coverage down the field. There was 3 or 4 Royals there. Took a little bit of an awkward hop. I'm not sure they actually wanted to pick that up and return it, but it ends up hopping up into his lap, and the Royals are there to swallow him up.
On the one hand, it is indeed a block in the back against the Bulldogs. On the one hand, you'd be better off just running out of the way in general and hoping it gets to the end zone. I get why he picks it up. The hope is, okay, it's not going to be a single-digit starting position. It's going to be the 10 or further, but because of the penalty yardage, it's a moot point anyway, as they'll be set up 1st and 10 from their own 5-yard line. 4:12 to play in this opening quarter. Royals lead 7-0. Trying to keep it that way as the Bulldogs have to go 95 yards to tie this game up. It's a QB sneak out of the gate by Ratliff that'll go for a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, just trying to create a little space here. As I mentioned pregame, Columbus North will run a lot of different formations. They've got 3 tight ends in there right now, all to the right side. So it's an unbalanced formation. Let's see how the Royals adjust to it.
They'll say he dove forward for 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 7 from the Bulldogs' own 8-yard line. 1 wide receiver to the right. Now he sends 1 out in motion to the left, empty backfield this time for Ratliff. High snap. He'll keep it himself once again and is brought down after a gain of a couple more. It'll set up 3rd and medium for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, designed QB power there, and a great job by Cole Kessler on the edge to take on that kick-out block violently to really narrow that vertical seam for the quarterback to run through. Now brings up a nice situation for Roncalli to potentially get aggressive and see if you can make a play here.
4 wide receivers out there, 3 to the right, 1 to the left for the Bulldogs. On this 3rd and 6 from their own 9-yard line, 1 man in the backfield with Ratliff. Claps once, now looks to the sidelines. 13 on the play clock and whistles for a timeout taken by the Royals. We will take one as well. Step aside for 30 seconds. 3:09 to play in this opening quarter. Royals lead at 7-0. Big 3rd down upcoming when we come back.
Fans, please be aware that representatives of the Roncalli Athletic Boosters Organization are selling 50-50 raffle tickets prior to and during our first quarter. They're located inside the main ticket gate, and we will announce the winning ticket at some time after halftime. Please be generous.
We took a break. I can't hear the commercial.
Owned Indianapolis and Greenwood Florist. Our mission is to establish and maintain the highest level of floral value and customer service at comfortable consumer prices. For the best and freshest flowers in Indianapolis and surrounding areas, Steve's Flowers and Gifts has exactly what you're looking for. Check out our wide selection of flower arrangements to make your next occasion memorable. Call 317-787-3431 or visit us at 3150 East Thompson Road.
9-yard line. Takes the snap as Ratliff. Airs one out deep as a man overthrew him. And it'll be 4th down on the punting unit. It'll come on the field for the Bulldogs. They had a go ball opportunity there, Dan. But Ratliff overshot his intended receiver, and the Royals will take it as they'll get ready to receive their 2nd punt of the ball game.
Yeah, well-designed play there. They sent their slot across the face of Roncalli's safety to draw him to the middle of the field, which makes your 1 receiver on the outside one-on-one with the corner. It was a pretty good throw, just a little bit too far.
So that'll bring back out Jace Emmett to punt it away for the Bulldogs. Sam Rader stands at the 44-yard line of Columbus North. It's a perfect end-over-ender that takes a Bulldogs bounce. Royals will get away from it, and it will roll to the 48-yard line of Columbus North. So a 39-yard punt, and Roncalli will start in Columbus North territory for the first time this evening. Royals lead at 7-0. 2:52 to play in this first quarter. One drive was dominant. The other one was a good response defensively by Columbus North. Hopefully the third is a more on the pathway of that first drive, Dan.
Yeah, key is keeping the yellow laundry off the field.
Indeed.
I mean, that's what killed the drive last time.
Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left on this 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' 48-yard line for Colin Ash. He looks to the sidelines, has Ben Brandenburg to his right side. Shutley and Sweezy lined out to the right. Morelli to the left. Ash takes the snap, gives to Brandenburg, up the middle, contorts his body, spins once, breaks a tackle, and has the first down. Let's see where the mark is, but based on where he fell, that should be a first down. As it stands, though, the officials at about a halfway away from the first down marker. It'll be second and about a half an inch from your vantage point.
Yeah, it's close.
Officially called 2nd and 1. Ball on the Bulldogs' 39-yard line. Ash takes the snap, keeps it himself. Quick slant. Morelli nearly had it, but then it fell out of his hands. It'll be 3rd and 1.
I really like that call, though, Jimmy. 2nd and short. You're on the plus side of the field. You put Morelli out there by himself. Little play action. Stick it in Brandenburg's gut. Freezes the linebackers for just a second. Morelli ran a really nice route. Was able to cross the face of the corner and was open. Just a little off target with the throw.
Swayze lines up on the line. Shutley out wide to the right side. Morelli to the left on this 3rd and 1. Ash in the gun. Ball on the Bulldogs' 39-yard line. They send Sweezy in motion, then send him back. Ben Brandenburg awaits a handoff. They give it to him. He'll chuck forward, keep the legs turning, out to the 30-yard line into Columbus North territory. It's a gain of 9. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 30 for the Royals.
I mean, all the indicators so far, Jimmy, are that Coach Quintana and Coach Otley are comfortable with running the ball tonight against this Columbus North defense. Going for it on 4th down in your own territory and then being able to pick it up there on a 3rd and short.
They'll mark him at the 31, so 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' 31-yard line. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Ash a keeper, and he'll give himself up. It was kind of a broken play, it appeared, as no one was blocking near the edge where Ash wanted to go. He just decides to safely dive to the turf. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, maybe a little too much film on Charlie Elsner coming behind the line of scrimmage last week against Chittard. Columbus North has been all over it 2 times now.
Shutley and Kessler to the right. Morelli to the left on the 2nd and 10 from the 31. Handoff, right side, space is there, turning, fighting for extra yardage is Rogan Bennett. He'll get close to the first down marker. We'll call it 3rd and 1, but a great run there by the sophomore.
Yeah, and puts you in a really good position.
Junior, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, puts you in a really nice position here in 3rd and 1 where you're definitely in a position where you can take a shot here if you think Columbus North is, we got a flag on the sideline here.
They're pointing towards the Roncalli coaching staff. It looks like, or maybe some players were close to the field.
Yeah, a couple of the Roncalli coaches had a few steps onto the field, so it's going to be a warning.
The Royals lucky for that, as it's 3rd and 1 from the Bulldogs' 22. A minute and 1 second to play in this first quarter. Royals lead at 7-0. Try to extend that lead here. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
Would like to see a shot here, knowing how well we've run the ball.
Bennett on the right hip of Ash. Takes the snap. Screen, bubble screen, caught by Shutley, but the victory is had initially. The victory was had by the secondary of Columbus North as they fought through to tackle Shutley, but he fought forward and dove very close to the line to gain, and he gets it on the second effort. It's 1st down Royals.
I mean, that's a tremendous effort by Rudy Shutley. He was dead to rights for a loss of 2 or 3, which would have put the Royals in a 4th and 3 or 4 situation, and he fights to get the first down. Excellent effort.
It was Robbie Williams there to make the initial tackle, but then Shutley fought forward. So 1st and 10 just outside the red zone, and Bennett slips. Make it Dozier slips, I beg your pardon. on the handoff. He'll lose 2. Be second and 12, actually make it 13, and that very well could be the final play of this first quarter.
Yeah, and he slipped, but I don't think that run was going there anyways. Coach Quintana talked about it pregame. Columbus North has some size up front on both sides of the ball, and they were able to get a good push there off the snap.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right, but it won't matter because unless the Royals are really feeling gutsy, they are not. They're going to let this go down to the quarter break. Well, the Royals can go to the second quarter with a lead. They're on top of the Bulldogs of Columbus North. 7-0 after 1. We'll step aside for 1 minute and be back after this.
Heating and Cooling. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, Ane and Bartram are available to handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Ane and Bartram strive to be the best, so call them today at 317-889-9574. They even have 24/7 emergency service. Call them today, Ane and Bartram, 317-889-9574. Hey, maybe the summer blew by and your child hasn't been to his or her back-to-school eye exam. Let the experts take a look and schedule an appointment today with Vision Quest Eye Care. Vision Quest has 2 locations to serve you and your family in Greenwood and Geist. Visit VisionQuestEyeCare.com and schedule today. That's VisionQuestEyeCare.com.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
Bob Tully Field. Start of the second quarter from Bob Tully Field. Royals will walk down to the other end of the stadium, have 2nd and 13 from the Bulldogs' 24-yard line. Roncalli leads it 7-0, trying to add more points here. Bunch formation to the left, 2 wide receivers to the right. Handoff. Ben Brandenburg darts, dives, keeps the legs churning. He'll get the penalty yardage back, or the lost yardage on the run play, I beg your pardon, before we went to the quarter. He'll get that back and then some. It'll set up 3rd and medium for the Royals, make it 3rd and 7 officially from the Bulldogs' 18-yard line.
Yeah, the difference between Ben Brandenburg and the other running backs for Roncalli right now is his strength. I mean, he's a senior. He's been in the weight room, and when he takes that first contact, he's usually not going down there.
1 wide receiver to the right, bunch formation to the left near the line of scrimmage for the Royals on this 3rd and 7. Ball on the Bulldogs' 18-yard line. Brandenburg, the tailback. Ash looks left. Pressure comes. He bails out, but gives it to Brandenburg and gives him a chance to find the edge. He does. 15-10. And I believe he's going to have, let's see where they mark him. He's going to be 2 yards short of the line to gain, but there is a penalty marker down on that far sideline.
And this could go either of 2 ways. He was hit pretty late out of bounds, and the hit actually came at the horse collar. So I'm interested to see what they call here.
Well, from that analysis, though, it sounds like it's on the Bulldogs either way.
I would be shocked if it is not. It came from the back judge, and he had a pretty good eye on it. Having said that, there was a referee. The side judge was right there as well, and he did not throw the flag. They're having a discussion here.
Well, let's see. We've seen the Royals get a flag waved off already this season. It happened last week at Bish-Chittard when we thought for sure it was a blindside block, and then the flag disappeared. It's a long discussion happening now, and based on that walk, now we're bringing in the 4th official. So of the 5-man crew, 4 have been in on this conversation. It is a personal foul against the Bulldogs. No indication what the personal foul was, but we can speculate, as Dan did, likely unnecessary roughness on Columbus North.
And big there. It would have been 4th and 2 and a decision time for Roncalli. Now you pick up a fresh set of downs, half the distance to the goal line, and you've got a deflated defense there now.
So it'll set up 1st and goal from the 9? 1st and goal from the 5, I beg your pardon.
There's a personal foul against the Bulldogs.
So 1st and goal from the 5 for the Royals. They lead 7-0. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ash in the gun. Bennett to his left side. Takes the snap, gives to Bennett, and flags fly. Will stop everything. It's a false start on the Royals. Their second of the evening.
We talked about it last drive, Jimmy, but keeping the laundry off the field, that's what's killed these drives in the red zone for Roncalli so far this year. Again, key to the game is, can you figure out how to punch the ball in? And we just got an unsportsmanlike on our sideline as well. It's inexcusable. I mean, both as players and a coaching staff, you've got to be more disciplined than that. You're on the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. Now it's going to be all the way back to, the 25.
And there's no bailout either, because like you mentioned, it's goal to go now, and this is just an absolute nightmare of back-to-back penalties for Roncalli. Like you mentioned, ball's going to be on the 25-yard line. Replay first down, so 1st and goal from the 25. We've reached NFL blitz territory.
Yeah, and the sideline warning thing, there's been a few of those this year. You'd like to see him get that cleaned up.
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ash in the gun, has Bennett to his right hip. He'll take the snap, give us to Bennett, and he is wrapped up immediately. It's a big man's tackle. That's Luke Raval on the stop. He blew up the Royals' offensive line, makes the tackle. So now we are literally near NFL blitz territory. Well, you remember that game, it's 1st and 30 usually. Now it's 2nd and 29.
Yeah, and 2nd down and 29, and you're not really in good field goal position anymore. So we need to pick something up here.
2nd and goal from the 29. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ash fires a slant to Sweezy. It's caught, and he's undercut at the 18. But now it sets up a little bit more manageable. And again, you would assume that this could be 4-down territory for Roncalli. So 1 more to cut it in half, make it 4th and 5, 4th and 7.
Yeah,
maybe you have a conversation there.
I think anything outside the 5-yard line, you're probably kicking it.
Think so? Okay.
Christian Sweezy doesn't get talked about enough. If he were in a situation with an experienced quarterback, and nothing against Colin Ash, he just hasn't played a lot of football, he is a very good wide receiver.
2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left on this 3rd and goal from the 14. Ash, 2-step drop, fires a fade route to Elsner. He's wide open in the end zone. Did he complete the catch? He did. Touchdown Royals. A rabbit out of a hat from Colin Ash to Charlie Elsner on 3rd and goal from the 14. And the Royals capitalize on the big play. It's 13-0 with 10:01 to play in the half.
And you mentioned it, Jimmy, having to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and that was perfectly executed. So they ran a little spot route with the number 1 wide receiver, and then ran Charlie Elsner, the tight end, on a wheel. He ends up getting a step on the corner, gets the ball at the high point, touchdown Royals.
Levi Whistler on to attempt the point after try. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. For the first time since Southport Week 1, the Royals have a 2-score lead with 10:01 to play in this first half. Roncalli leads the Bulldogs of Columbus North. Back after.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
On top of Columbus North, 14-0. Along with Dan Lauk, I am Jimmy Cook. We just see a deep shot?
Yeah,
Ash to Elsner.
I love it,
6.
Jimmy. We talk about little steps throughout the season for this team, and I mentioned it pregame. Being able to hit the big play is going to be huge, not only for this game and winning this game, which is important, but for the confidence of the team to know that you have the ability to hit those big plays. And Charlie Elsner, Colin Ash did it there.
Bulldogs back deep to receive the kick. A end-over-ender that's taken at the 5-yard line, out to the 10, out of the 15, and finally stopped at the 20. Flag flies late, and some extracurriculars by both teams after the flag flies before they now head to their respective sidelines. You would assume on a return like that it's a hold, but it's not this time. The official in the white hat marks a face mask against Roncalli.
Yeah, it was really good coverage there from the Royals, getting the Bulldogs down at the 20, but unfortunately the face mask penalty. Hey, want to take a second, Jimmy, to give a shout-out. Ryan Russell, good friend of mine, Mooresville PD, listening in from the squad car. Luke Burkhart, good friend of mine as well, listening
in.
That's what I love about this community.
Absolutely.
Those are old fogies like me, 32, 33 years old, that are still tuning in on a Friday night. I love it.
To build off of that, if you'd like a shout-out, you can tweet Dan at Dan_Lout or tweet myself at the J Cook. We'll try to work in some shout-outs as the broadcast goes. 1st and 10 from their own 25 for the Bulldogs. Royals lead at 14-0. 9:55 to play in this second quarter. It's a screen pass that's caught at the 20 to the 25 and stopped finally by the Royals at the 30-yard line. In to make the tackle for Roncalli was Dylan Henry. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the Bulldogs' 30.
You watch the Bulldogs on tape. They run a lot of screens. They run a lot of counters, a lot of misdirections. So, again, as I mentioned in pregame, using your eyes and being disciplined on defense is going to be huge tonight.
2 wide receivers to the left and 2 to the right for Asher Ratliff. Has 1 man in the backfield with him on this 2nd and 5 from his own 30. Royals initially show pressure. Now they bring it back. Bulldogs send a man in motion. Take a shot over the middle at the sticks. It's caught for the first down, according to the forward progress. It'll be caught right at the 36-yard line and move the chains for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bulldogs in 10 formation, 1 running back, 0 tight ends. They were in 13 last possession. But that time they send a little exit motion where they push the running back out into the flat, makes Roncalli exit one of their linebackers, opens up that middle.
1st and 10 from their own 36 for the Bulldogs. 9 minutes to play first half. Royals lead at 14-0. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 2 in the backfield next to Ratliff. He'll send 1 man in motion. That's Prescott. Takes the snap. Flag flies for a hold. Throw over the middle is caught at the 44-yard line, but the flag is in the area of holding, and that is indeed what it'll be against the offensive line of Columbus North.
And I think Columbus North likes what they're getting from that exit motion. Different formation this time, but they pushed Geno Prescott out into the flat that time with the motion. I think, they just missed it. I think they had what they wanted with the little curl route to replace where the linebacker on Roncalli's side had exited out with the running back. He just missed it.
Columbus North looks to the sideline on this 1st and 20 from their own 26-yard line. A wide receiver out to the left, 3 to the right for the Bulldogs. Geno Prescott in the backfield there with Asher Ratliff. Claps once, claps twice, gets the snap, rolling right, cross-body throw on a screen is caught, but tackled at the 30, and a flag flies again into the backfield near the far sideline of the Bulldogs. Let's see where this call goes.
It was a screen route, and the offensive lineman may have been a little bit too far down the field. Now, you can get away with that as long as your receiver catches the ball within a yard of the line of scrimmage. Then the offensive lineman can be as far down the field as they'd like to.
Is that what you imagine the conference is about?
I think that's what they're chatting about here, because if the running back was, again, like I said, within a yard of the line of scrimmage, it's not a penalty. But they are going to call it looks like.
So an eligible man downfield. They're going to ask Coach Quintana what he wants to do here. They'll look to the sideline, and I didn't see an official indication from Quintana. Injured Bulldog was Morgan Knapp. He's okay, though. An eligible man downfield is the call. The Royals will accept the penalty. So that'll bump him back 5 yards. And then additionally, no, correction, it'll still be first down.
Yeah, 1st and a mile, 1st and 25. So pin your ears back here if you're Roncalli. Obviously, you can't give up the big play, but trust your defensive backs in the backfield and see if you can cause, some ruckus there at the line of scrimmage.
Back-to-back penalties on the Bulldogs sets up this 1st and 25 from their own 21-yard line. A wide receiver to the right, none to the left. Marmino is the tailback. Ratliff fakes to him, rolls right, looking for a man-to-man option. He's running out of time, floats it to the sideline, incomplete. 2nd and 25 upcoming.
Smart decision by Ratliff. There was nothing there. Great job by the Royals. The Columbus North Bulldogs came out in it was either 12 or 13 personnel, so a much heavier set than they've shown this drive. Tried to sneak one of their tight ends out through the linebackers and vertical, but it was picked up nicely by Sam Rader, the safety.
Bulldogs get ready to break the huddle. Be 2nd and 25 from their own 21. Royals lead at 14-0 off a 35-yard touchdown run from Ben Brandenburg in the first quarter. Then early stage of the second, a 14-yard hookup from Ash to Elsner. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left on this 2nd and 25. Ratliff fakes the handoff, 2-step drop, pressure coming. He'll fire over the middle. It's broken up, and a flag will fly for pass interference.
And it's a tough call. I think it's the right call, but it's a tough call because that ball was thrown well behind the receiver, which caused the receiver to turn back to the ball. Had it been thrown on target, I think, the defender was in a good place to make a play on the ball, but you can't just stop yourself dead in your tracks when the receiver turns around to make a play. There was contact, so I think it's the right call. It's just an unfortunate play. Now, in high school football, that's not an automatic first down, so we're still going to have, 2nd and more than 10 here for the Bulldogs, or right at 10.
It'll be 2nd and about 10, maybe 11. We'll wait for official Mark Cal Davis, the senior cornerback, called for the penalty.
As a result, 2nd down and 10.
So they'll call it 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and 25 off the pass interference for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 36. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. Once again, a running back flanking either side of Ratliff. He'll clap once. He'll clap twice. Takes the snap. 3-step drop. Looking. Pressure coming. He'll roll on the run. He's swallowed up and brought
into the box. They can block, too.
Ash looks to the sidelines. 2nd and 8 from the Bulldogs 38. 6:40 to play in this second quarter. Royals lead 14-0. 3 out wide to the left, 1 to the right. Brandenburg the tailback. Make it Benich, I beg your pardon. They give to Benich. Stumbles forward, dives forward past the 30 to the 27-yard line of the Bulldogs to move the chains for the Royals. First down upcoming.
Good run by Rogan there, but that was all offensive line. A nice little vertical seam opened up there for Rogan to hit it. He broke one little tackle at the knee pads, and it ended up picking up the first down.
Ash looks towards the sideline for the play call. 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' 28-yard line. 18 on the play clock. A wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Benich once again the tailback. Ash, high snap, give us to Benich. He breaks the tackle to the 35, crawls his way to the 20. A flag flies late, make it 2 flags. 1 from the back judge, 1 from the side judge. Let's see where this goes.
It looked like a face mask to me, Jimmy, which would put the Royals in really good position here. And the fact that it came from 2 different referees, that's what really leads me to believe that.
No signal yet. A lot of conversations by this crew, but I suppose you'd rather be right and long about it than quick and wrong. It is a face mask called against the Bulldogs.
All right, so here we are again, Jimmy. We talked about this team taking steps forward this year. They're back in the red zone. All right, they've executed so far tonight, punching the ball in. Let's see if they can do it for a 3rd time.
So there's a personal foul, face mask, against the Bulldogs. That results in a 1st down for the Royals.
1 wide receiver to the left. Well, now the Royals will modify the formation.
1st and 10.
As Ash looks to the sideline. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1st and 10 from the 11 of Columbus North. So 1 more first down the Royals can get between here and the end zone. Ash takes the snap, rolls left, pressure comes, looks left, floats it in the end zone. It's caught. Christian Sweezy, touchdown. An 11-yard strike from Ash to Sweezy, and the Royals with easily, when you look at the competition they're facing, easily their best offensive performance of the season so far. 21-0 Roncalli, pending point after try, of course, with 5:34 to play in this second quarter.
And mama, there goes that man, Christian Sweezy. Nobody deserves that touchdown more than that kid. He's been tough all year, and he finally gets his opportunity and takes it.
Good snap. Good hold. And Levi Whistler makes me feel good for jumping the gun on the score, because now it's 21-0. Advantage Roncalli with 5:34 to play in this first half. We'll take a quick break for 30 seconds and be back after this on the Roncalli Media Network.
In their time of need is the main concern of the staff at Lauk Veldhoff Funeral Home. We are a small family-owned firm and take great pride in the personal service we offer and the family-like atmosphere at our facility. At Lauk Veldhoff, we only serve one family at a time, providing compassionate care and affordable options, truly part of your community. Lauk and Veldhoff Funeral and Cremation Services. Call 317-636-6655.
At Peterman Brothers, we know how critical AC can be to your comfort. And we want to make sure you're comfortable in every season. That's why right now, when you install a qualifying AC system with Peterman Brothers, we'll include the furnace for free. That's right, Indiana. The furnace is free. And if you schedule today, we'll install your new system tomorrow, guaranteed. Visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule online in seconds.
Hi folks, it's Ben Stallings with Beck Service Center. Automotive breakdowns and routine maintenance never come at a good time. Let us help take the stress out of your automotive repairs. With 10 mechanics and 32 bays, we can get you back up and running with minimal downtime. Quality parts, experienced mechanics, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located at the southeast corner of Madison and Edgewood, we are pretty darn good at fixing cars. Let's go Royals.
Royals on top 21-0. Kick return was taken by the Bulldogs to their own 41-yard line. That's where they'll set up shop, 1st and 10. Two wide receivers to the left, one to the right for Ratliff. Sends a man in motion. Handoff up the middle for a gain of a yard, if that. Gino Prescott, the ball carrier, will be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, nothing going so far for the Columbus North offense, especially running the ball. And this is, again, not the position you want to be in. 1st down, you got to pick up at least 3, or else it really limits what you can do offensively. The Roncalli defense up front has been really stout so far. Got another penalty here. And if you can point to anything here for the Royals, it's been the penalties. I mean, that's 7 for 65 yards here just in the first half alone.
It'll be 1st and 5 after the penalty yardage for the Bulldogs' own 46-yard line. Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left. Tailback is Prescott for Ratliff. 6 on the play clock. 1st and 5 from their own 46. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking deep, fires a shot, downfield, broken up. It hits the back on the far left side of Bryce Heimlich. And it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, the Bulldogs taking a shot there from what was going to be a 2nd and 10, turns into a 1st and 5. They decide, hey, we're at midfield, we got nothing to lose here, let's take a shot. It was open once again, but Bryce Heimlich did a nice job catching up and using his noggin there, Jimmy.
Hey, nothing wrong with that as long as you don't make contact with the defender. Can use any part to try to knock down a pass like he did there. 2nd and 5 from the 46. Handoff to Prescott, and he'll carry his legs, but be short of the 1st down. So 3rd and 1 upcoming for the Bulldogs. It's 4:45 to play here in the half.
And that run is much more like what I saw on film this week, Jimmy. Prescott hitting vertical and not trying to dance in the backfield. He's a big, powerful kid.
Quick action. Run up the middle is enough for the 1st down for the Bulldogs on 3rd and 1. It'll get them past midfield. Yeah, for what I believe is, if I'm not mistaken, the first time tonight for the Bulldogs. Yeah, if not, only the 2nd.
It feels like it's been the first at least. And, you know, they bobble a snap there, and it actually works out in Columbus North's favor. Had that snap been taken cleanly, the middle was pretty clogged up.
A wide receiver on either side. Be 1st and 10 from the Roncalli 46 for the Bulldogs. Ratliff, 3-step drop. He'll air out a deep ball. Jump ball up for grabs. Deflected out of the air and incomplete. Great help over the top from A.J. Richardson to break that up. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and again, Bryce Heimlich, the receiver got a little bit of a step on him, and he ended up getting in a position where he could make a play, but he was in a tough position. Great job by A.J. Richardson to come from the backside. His receiver took him there, and he ended up breaking off of his receiver and making a nice play on the ball.
2nd and 10 from the Roncalli 46 for the Bulldogs. 4:03 to play in this second quarter. Your Royals lead at 21-0. A running back flanks either side of Ratliff. A wide receiver on either side for him as well. Claps once, claps twice, gets the snap, misdirection handoff up the middle, and the Royals blow it up after a gain of 3. Ball carrier was San Marino.
And that's, the cross action on the handoff there. That's all smoke and mirrors. If you're a defensive player, you just play your position, read your keys, and stay home. And Roncalli did just that.
They'll call it 3rd and 8 at the Roncalli 44 for the Bulldogs. Royals looking for another big stop to force a punt here. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. 2 in the backfield on either side of Ratliff. Clapped once, nearly got the Royals to jump as they show pressure on that near side. This is Dylan Henry showing the pressure. He still shows it. They change the formation slightly with 5 on the play clock on 3rd and 8. Ratliff rolling right. Full house pressure coming. Throws over the middle. Has his man. It's caught for the first down and then some. And a flag's going to fly late. Cal Davis, an unnecessary shove after he made the receiver on the tackle out of bounds. Unfortunately for Davis, it wasn't necessarily aggressive, but it was right in front of the official. And they're going to throw that every time.
Yeah, again, penalties are the key here. If you're taking anything negative away from this first half, way too many penalties from the Roncalli side of things. We've got 9 for 86 yards at this point. Pretty inexcusable. I do want to call out Brody Heidelberger there. He did a great job coming downfield from that bomber spot, which is the middle linebacker who, once the quarterback gets out of the pocket, he no longer has coverage responsibility. Brody came downhill really fast, put a nice hit on Ratliff, but it was a good throw by Ratliff to get it out to the sideline.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. On this 1st and 10 from the Roncalli 17. Handoff, Prescott bounces off 1 tackler, jumps outside of the 15 to the 10, and nearly finds pay dirt, brought down past the 5 to the 3-yard line.
And this is a big drive for Columbus North. Way too many red shirts turning and watching the ball there and not playing through the whistle. But you talk about Columbus North being able to get the ball at halftime here. If they can score, the momentum's going to go their way, and we've got a ball game on our hands.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 3 for the Bulldogs. They look to score for the first time tonight. A wide receiver to the left, 1 to the right. Royals jumped inside the neutral zone. Unforced error will make it half the distance. 2:49 to play, second quarter. Royals lead at 21-0. But the Bulldogs on the verge of scoring. And as Dan alluded to, they get the ball to start the second half. Half the distance makes it 1st and goal from about the 1.
And again, the 10th penalty, I don't want to pile on, but 10 penalties in 1 half is unheard of, and the Royals can't be happy about that right now.
Ratliff lines up under center. Cam Kleinhen's the tailback deep behind him. QB sneak, but the flags fly initially. If this is a false start, the Royals will get a bit of breathing room defensively. It is indeed. Huge break for the Royals there.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely, you're talking about being backed up 1st and 2 from the, 1st and goal from the 2. You're going to score 90% of the time there. Now it's 1st and goal from the 6. Columbus North can't just quarterback sneak it, which is what they looked like they were lined up for on that last play.
So now it'll take some offensive efficiency by the Bulldogs. 1st and goal from the 6 after the penalty yardage. 2 wide receivers to the left, none to the right. 1 man in the backfield for the Bulldogs. Takes the snap. Double reverse action. Trying to find the edge. It'll be a walk-in touchdown for the Bulldogs. Braylon Thurman on the extra jet sweep action. Finds space to the right, and the Bulldogs put 6 on the board with 2:15 to play in this second quarter. 21-6 Royals, PAT pending.
And there's the trick play. We've seen it every game they've run this season. They motion out the quarterback out to the flat there, snap it directly to the running back. He runs out left, run the little reverse play. He had, he walked it in. He could have thrown it as well. It was wide open for a touchdown.
Bryce Luttrell on for the point after try. Good snap, good hold, and that kick is good. 2:15 to play in this second quarter. Royals lead cut to 14, but they still lead all the same, 21-7. We will step away for 30 seconds and be back after this on the Roncalli Media Network.
Lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless. We are experts. We are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals.
The Bulldogs go 9 plays, 59 yards, 3 minutes, 19 seconds on a Thomson 7-yard touchdown jet sweep run to cut the Royal lead to 14, but the Royals back to receive the kick. They'll have 2:15 to work with. That'll be taken at the 5-yard line. Out of the 10 to the 15, all the way to the 20 is Rudy Shutley on the return. So it'll give the Royals a decent look at field position. They'll have it at their own 22-yard line, so they'll have to go 78 yards to reestablish that 3-score lead. Dan, from what you've seen from the Roncalli offense tonight, can we get a little smooth 2-minute drill?
Yeah, I mean, you've got 2 timeouts. In high school football, the clock stops on a first down, so you've got plenty of time here to execute, but that's the key. You got to execute.
Be first and 10 from the Roncalli 22. High snap, bubble screen is dropped. Went to the right side, had 2 blockers there, but honestly, probably for the best, Rudy Shutley couldn't make that catch as the Bulldogs were swarming quickly.
And that's the second time the Royals have tried that, getting it out there to Shutley. The first time he caught it and was able to fight for a first down, but it's the same situation. They're getting beat on the perimeter blocking-wise, and Columbus North, I mentioned it pregame, is really aggressive. They're not just going to let you pick up 3 or 4 easy yards, and they get up there quickly in the Royals' face to, incompletion, but it would have been tackled for a loss anyways.
Second and 10 from the Royals' 22-yard line. 2:07 to play in this second quarter. Royals 21, Bulldogs 7. High snap to Ash. Throws near the sideline. It's caught by Charlie Elsner after a gain of 3. So it'll be third and about 7.
Good execution there. Columbus North was playing off a little bit more that time. Colin Ash recognizes it pre-snap, knows that Elsner will be open in the flat, and gets it to him. He's very comfortable with Charlie Elsner.
They'll call it a gain of 4, so 3rd and 6 for the Royals. Ball on their own 26-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ash in the gun. Takes the snap. Screen to Brandenburg, looking for blocks, trying to find the edge of the 25. Bounces back to midfield to the 30, and he's twisted down from behind, a yard short, I believe, of the line to gain, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs have all 3 timeouts. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and take one there.
Timeout taken by the Bulldogs. We will take one as well. 1:47 to play. 4th and 1 upcoming for the Royals. They lead by 14 back in 30 seconds.
Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
.147 to play in this first half. Royals 4th and 1 from their own 31-yard line, and with a 2-score lead with just outside of 90 seconds and change to play in this half. The Royals will send on the punting unit. Levi Whistler will try to pin the Bulldogs deep. Drifts to the right. Gets the punt away. It's a spiraling kick like a top. It's taken to the 30-yard line, and great coverage made by the Royals Tackle is made by A.J. Richardson. No opportunity for a return. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line of Columbus North.
And outside of the long kick return that Columbus North had earlier in the game, the special teams unit has executed really well tonight. Good to see them bounce back after a few rough weeks, and great tackle there by A.J. Richardson after the wonderful punt by Levi Whistler. Now 2 timeouts here left for Columbus North, 1:40. Again, that's plenty of time for them to put a drive together here as well.
Well, it's the last thing you want to have happen if you're the Royals, because the Bulldogs get the ball to start the second half. 99 seconds left in this first half. 1st and 10 from their own 28 for the Bulldogs. 2 out wide to the left and 2 to the right. Ratliff, quick screen outside, and it's caught for a gain of a yard, maybe 2. It was well read defensively by Parker Doherty, but he just couldn't get the jump for what could have been a pick 6. Instead, it's caught to the side, and it'll be 2nd and 7, a gain of 3 from their own 31.
You can see in his eyes he did want to break after that, but he was just a few yards too far downfield, so smart play to just make the tackle, keep the ball in bounds.
2 wide receivers to the left and 2 to the right. On this 2nd and 7 from their own 31. Ratliff, 2-step drop, has time, fires sideline, nearly a one-handed catch, but it could not be made by Braylon Thumman. It'll be 3rd and 7. Now, if you're the Royals, get an incompletion here. You still have, I believe, 2 timeouts to work with, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
You get a stop here, you have an opportunity to maybe do something with the football. 3rd and 7 from the Bulldogs' own 31. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They operate on the far right side. Royals show pressure. Ratliff with 15 on the play clock looks back to his sideline and changes things at the line of scrimmage. Formation stays the same, though. Prescott, the tailback, takes the snap. Pressure coming, running out of time. Ratliff pointing downfield, has to throw it away. He does cross body, and it's nearly intercepted by Ben Brandenburg. The Bulldogs will be forced to punt it back to the Royals with 1:22 to play in this first half.
Yeah, Bulldogs try to set up a screen there as the offensive linemen end up about 30 yards downfield, wondering why the ball hasn't been completed yet. Ends up hitting the ground right at the line of scrimmage. So the Royals will take that. Clock stops on the incompletion. In 1:22 with 2 timeouts, depending on how this punt goes, you may see the Royals be aggressive here and try to get a score before half.
Sam Rader back to receive the punt from Jace Emmett. He stands at the Roncalli 35. Royals nearly blocked that. It's an end-over-ender that's taken. It's muffed. It's muffed by the Royals. They got to dive on it. Fight for the football. The Bulldogs have it. Sam Rader muffs the punt, the first muffed punt of the season for the Royals, and the Bulldogs are set up basically on a reset like they hit a deep ball. They'll be on the Roncalli side of the field. It'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs from the Roncalli 38-yard line with 1:13 to operate with.
And we talked about Sam Rader's aggressiveness helping the Royals throughout this season. That time, with defenders in your face, 1 minute left in the half, you've got a 14-point lead. Take the fair catch there and take the field position.
Bulldogs break the huddle. 2 wide receivers make it 3 now to the right, none to the left. Ratliff in the gun. Prescott to his right hip. Right at midfield they operate, or middle of the field I should say they operate, at the 38. Takes the snap, rolls light, shouting out directions, and it's caught on a toe tapper as he gets out of bounds, does Braylon Thoman. Call it a pickup of 5, 2nd and 5 from the Roncalli 33.
Minimal gain there. The Bulldogs kept the tight end in there for extra protection, but good coverage down the field by the Royals.
Prescott still the tailback out there. 2 out to the left, 1 out to the right for the Bulldogs offense. Royals lead at 21-7 on this 2nd and 5 with 1:08 to play. Bulldogs looking to further cut into the lead. Ratliff, 3-step drop, looks right, fires, has a man again on the sideline. Spins for extra yardage though, and I believe he did not get out of bounds this time. Let's see. No, he did indeed, they'll say. Clock will stop with 61 seconds to play in the half. Royals lead it by 14, 21-7, advantage Roncalli. It'll be 3rd and 3 from the Roncalli 31.
I'm not really sure why the clock is stopped here, and really an interesting spot for the Bulldogs. I had thought they had picked that first down up, but the referee walked it back a few yards.
2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right, empty backfield for Ratliff on this 3rd and 3. 3-step drop, pressure comes, able to get away from it. Now Ratliff will tuck it and run to the 20, 15, and slides right at the 15-yard line, and the Royals made contact with him when he gave himself up. Flags will fly. Ratliff is hyped, and the Bulldogs can capitalize and potentially make this a one-score game with the ball to start the second half going into the break.
Great play there by Ratliff. The Royals brought pressure, and it was there. Just got a little too overzealous on the pressure. You got to know that Ratliff's a pretty good athlete. He sneaks out of there, gets downfield, gives himself up, and at that point you can't touch him, and the Royals hit him late.
It'll be, as they mark the penalty yardage, it'll be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. They walk this out and put it right at the 9-yard line.
That's Roncalli.
Call it the 8, actually, as the official moves it up an extra yard. So 1st and goal from the 8 for the Bulldogs. And they're going to take Roncalli will take a 30-second timeout. We will stay here with 53 seconds to play in this first half. It'll be 1st and goal for the 8. I know we're going to dive into this at halftime, Dan, but biggest mark against the Royals, I would think, has to be the 11 penalties now, is it officially?
Yeah, you've given up 100 yards. The length of a football field in penalty yardage, that's inexcusable. And you talk about as a young team, you're going to be limited in how schematically, exotic you can get, and that's fine. And if you see players making aggressive mistakes, that's fine as well. But these penalties have been personal fouls, late hit, holding, and opportunities where, 1st and 10, you can't hold in that situation. And I'd say this crew, I know there's been a lot of penalties, but they're doing a good job. There hasn't been a call tonight that I've thought, you know what, that was borderline, or they got that one wrong. That hasn't been the case. It's just been really sloppy football from the Royals here, especially in the second quarter.
Both teams break their respective huddles. 53 seconds to play in this first half. Royals hanging on to a 2-score advantage. Bulldogs trying to make it just a 1-score lead on this 1st and goal from the 8. 2 wide receivers stacked to either side. The man in the backfield is Prescott. In the gun, Ratliff takes the snap straight to Prescott. Towers forward and is brought down from behind. Clock continues to run, 45 seconds and counting. It'll be a gain of maybe 2, perhaps 3, depending on where they mark it. 35 seconds. They'll actually call it indeed a gain of 3. So 2nd and goal from the 5. 35 seconds and counting. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Prescott to the left side of Ratliff. 27 seconds to go before the ball was snapped. Looks left, fires, jump ball, end zone. Incomplete. Couldn't get the feet down. 21 seconds to play in the half, and it's 3rd and goal from the 5.
A good job by Parker Doherty there. It looked like the catch was made, but he was able to get a bump when the receiver was in the air, push him out of bounds. Columbus North still has 2 timeouts here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they run the ball here, knowing that they still got 2 in their pocket and 2 plays to score.
Like Dan mentioned, 2 timeouts to operate with for the Bulldogs. 3rd and goal from the 5. Royals still lead at 21-7, 21 seconds to play in the half. 2 wide receivers on either side. Prescott to the left hip of Ratliff. He sends him now in motion to the right. They look for that screen, and a flag flies. Let's see where this goes. It's against the Royals. No, correction, I'm sorry. The official far side pointed to the Royals, but it's actually a false start against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he made the false start signal, or illegal motion signal, whatever you want to call it, but he did point to the Royals. There is no false start penalty on the defense. There is an offside penalty, but not false start.
I understand why I was perplexed. Timeout taken by the Bulldogs. We'll still keep it here. 21 seconds to play. Very much a last stand look for this Royals defense, trying to keep all the momentum going into the break. Honestly, at this point, though, given the self-inflicted wounds, you would accept it just being an 11-point lead at half, with a field goal being settled for by Columbus North.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're at 3rd and goal from the 10 now instead of the 5. I mean, that's a big difference in your play calling now. And, this is why coaches like to defer. You'll see coaches on every level defer more often than not. And that's because you have a chance to get the extra possession. And now Columbus North has a chance to score and get the ball back to start the second half. So big big one or two plays here from the Roncalli defense to see if they can try to hold some momentum going into halftime. If you go in 21-14 after that dominant first quarter, all the momentum is going to be on that opposing sideline. And, we talk about Roncalli being an inexperienced team. If you look at the Columbus North roster, they only have 8 seniors listed. So they're a very young team as well, and you don't want to give young teams reason to believe. Roncalli had a chance to really put this game away early, and it's been the penalties that have kept Columbus North back in it. And give credit to Columbus North as well. They've executed. The Ratliff kid's a really good quarterback, but a big couple plays here coming for the Royal defense.
The penalty yardage on the false start makes it 3rd and goal from the 10. 21 seconds to play first half. Royals lead it 21-7. Again, 3rd and goal from the 10 for the Bulldogs. 2 wide receivers on either side. Ratliff takes the snap, look left, now decides to run with it, stays behind the line of scrimmage, floats to the end zone, broken up, but a flag is going to fly. Oh, my. Dylan Henry there in coverage. He didn't turn around for the ball, but we didn't see any contact from our vantage point with the receiver. And let's see where this flag goes. But based on where it was thrown, it's got to be pass interference on the Royals. It is indeed that. I don't know.
Yeah, I just mentioned I agreed with every call they had made tonight. I do not agree with that one. And there used to be a call, Jimmy, 5 or 6 years ago, a face guarding call, where if the defender doesn't get their head around, they can call pass interference. But that call has been gone for at least 5 years.
Sure.
So without contact, which I didn't see any contact, we are on the opposite corner of where that play was, but tough break there.
So it's now 3rd and goal from the 5. 15 seconds to play first half. Ratliff takes the snap, rolls right, throws back, and it's caught, but the tackle is made. 9 seconds, now 8 seconds, tackled down at the 10. 7 seconds to play in this first half. The Bulldogs trying to get a timeout. Clock still rolls, and now 2 seconds remain in the half. We'll see if they decide to put some time back up. We understand with the Roncalli Media Network, the Bulldogs did appear to be signaling for a timeout with a little bit more than 2 seconds left. Either way, you'd think it's setting the field goal unit time for Columbus North.
Yeah, I think at this point Columbus North doesn't want time back on the clock because they'll take the kick here and go to halftime. But good job by the Royal defense. They really, it looked like they had that screenplay or the little spot route swallowed up right off the bat, and they missed a tackle initially, thought it was going to go into the end zone, but good rally by the defense to make the tackle on the 5 or 6 yard line and force a field goal opportunity here.
It'll be Bryce Luttrell to attempt the field goal in what will be, as they get measured up for this, a 26-yard attempt.
Yeah, looks like a 23-yarder, Jimmy, and we saw a trick play on the last touchdown, so I'd play safe here.
We'll call it 23 yards. Good snap, good hold, kick is good as time expires in this first half. Well, the Bulldogs of Columbus North score 10 unanswered, but all things considered on that drive, when you look at 12 penalties for 100 yards called against the Royals, to still be up by 11, even though Columbus North gets the ball to start the second half, is a victory.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a 2-score game at half, knowing you've committed that many penalties against a good football team. Columbus North, as Coach mentioned, they're a few plays away from being 3-0 against a pretty tough schedule. Blew out Columbus East 41-0, a rival. I mean, this is a good football team Roncalli's facing. The last thing you wanted to do was give them life, and they have life now, but at least it's a 2-score game still instead of 1.
Where do you mark, if anything? I know we're going to dive into this more during the halftime show, but it is an extended halftime here, with it being CYO night here on Bob Tully Field, along with senior night, as we mentioned as well. So we're going to have a lot of different moving pieces that take place here during our halftime break. But where do you attribute most to the jump in penalties? Is it just mental miscues at this point, or where do you attribute that for Roncalli?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of mental miscues. It's just
in to that first half from Dan and myself. We'll take a look at some of Dan's adjustments for both teams going into the second half. We will as well go over full first half stats, analysis, and more, and plus a look at the ever-changing campus of Roncalli High School. That and more is to come on our halftime show at the break. Roncalli 21, Columbus North 10, halftime.
Harding Porman is a full-service printing and brand communications company. From creative services and strategy to print, signage, digital output, warehousing and fulfillment, mailing, e-commerce storefronts, and even mobile solutions. They are dedicating to helping their clients get the most out of their brand communication efforts with the quality they can see and results they can be sure of. Get the most out of your brand communications. Certified to be the best, Harding Porman.
Hey, maybe the summer blew by and your child hasn't been to his or her back-to-school eye exam. Let the experts take a look and schedule an appointment today with Vision Quest Eye Care. Vision Quest has 2 locations to serve you and your family in Greenwood and Geist. Visit VisionQuestEyeCare.com and schedule today. That's VisionQuestEyeCare.com.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals!
At Peterman Brothers, we know how critical AC can be to your comfort. And we want to make sure you're comfortable in every season. That's why right now, when you install a qualifying AC system with Peterman Brothers, we'll include the furnace for free. That's right, Indiana. The furnace is free. And if you schedule today, we'll install your new system tomorrow, guaranteed. Visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule online in seconds.
Hi folks, it's Ben Stallings with Beck Service Center. Automotive breakdowns and routine maintenance never come at a good time. Let us help take the stress out of your automotive repairs. With 10 mechanics and 32 bays, we can get you back up and running with minimal downtime. Quality parts, experienced mechanics, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located at the southeast corner of Madison and Edgewood, we are pretty darn good at fixing cars. Let's go Royals.
When looking for reliable HVAC professionals, look no further than Anne and Bartram Heating and Cooling. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, Anne and Bartram are available to handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Anne and Bartram strive to be the best, so call them today at 317-889-9574. They even have 24/7 emergency service. Call them today, Anne and Bartram, 317-889-9574.
Providing comfort for families in their time of need is the main concern of the staff at Lauk Veldoff Funeral Home. We are a small family-owned firm and take great pride in the personal service we offer and the family-like atmosphere at our facility. At Lauks Vet Off, we only serve one family at a time, providing compassionate care and affordable options, truly part of your community. Lauk and Vet Off Funeral and Cremation Services. Call 317-636-6655.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field on the campus of Roncalli High School with Dan Lauk. I am Jimmy Cook. Royals lead it at the break 21-10 over the Columbus North Bulldogs. The halftime show is on from Roncalli Stadium. Let's take a look at how the Royals got to this point. They get the scoring started on a 5-play, 56-yard drive. 2 minutes and 10 seconds it took time of possession in their opening drive of this ball game, capped off by a 35-yard run from Ben Brandenburg. The Royals are then able to put together yet another scoring drive, early stages in the second quarter, and this time it was a deep ball, 14-yard touchdown pass from Colin Ash to Charlie Elsner, something we didn't know if we would see deep shots taken tonight, but they gave the sophomore quarterback a chance, and he delivered.
Yeah, and Jimmy, from watching film, I thought we would have to do that tonight. Columbus North's defense typically stops the run pretty well, and, you know, that was caused more by penalty yardage. It was self-inflicted by the Royals, but to be able to show that explosive ability and hit one of your playmakers in Charlie Elsner, it's a good sign for the rest of the season to know you have that capability.
Roncalli out of the gate, it's 21 unanswered, in fact, with 5:54 to play in the second quarter. It's an 11-yard touchdown pass from Ash to Sweezy. 4 plays, 30 yards in a minute and 42. Looks like it might be a boat race, but Columbus North had a little bit more on their mind. They close the first half on a 10-0 scoring run, a 9-play, 59-yard drive in 3 minutes and 19 seconds by Thoman on a 7-yard touchdown run. And then Emmett puts together a 22-yard field goal as time expires to make this a 21-10 ball game. The Bulldogs will get the ball to start the second half, but the Royals feel like they're in a pretty good place right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel good. Outside of the penalties, if you look statistically at what Roncalli's done, I mean, Colin Ash has been super efficient, 10 of 13, obviously with the 2 touchdown throws, running the ball 6.5 yards per rush. So if you look statistically outside of the penalties, Roncalli's got to be really happy with how they're executing, but it's the penalties, right? You know, outside of that, we're talking about a 28-0, 35-0 game potentially. But credit to Columbus North as well. I mean, especially Asher Ratliff at the quarterback position. He's made plays happen and kept drives alive for the Bulldogs.
To your point about Colin Ash, he came in just with a 49% completion percentage on the season. 76% is his mark at the break. That's been a massive improvement and a confidence booster for him, but also the running back room has played exceptionally well. 9 carries, 75 yards for workhorse Ben Brandenburg tonight. Of course, Rogan Bennett, Zach Dozier doing a nice job in relief.
Yeah, and Ben playing both sides of the ball, obviously. He's one of the most athletic players on this team. I'd like to see them continue to feed him in the second half. As I mentioned, 6.2 yards per rush in the first half for Roncalli. You'll definitely take that, especially with the struggles you had last week against the tough Chittard defense. So continuing to feed players like Ben and Charlie Elsner, those guys that have experience, you know, coming away with a win is really important tonight, but executing here in the second half and taking that next step forward as a team is the biggest thing.
We're about 9 minutes or so away from the start of the second half. Hey, look, the vibes are great at Roncalli Stadium right now. It's CYO night, a mix of senior night as well, and all the Royals faithful very happy as they lead it 21-10 at the break. Still a little bit later before kick, we'll have Dan's keys to the second half for both these clubs. But as you well know, Roncalli always an ever-evolving campus. A lot of changes going on at Roncalli High School.
Roncalli family, great to be back with you for another school year and another year of a few minutes with the president. I have to chuckle each summer when folks say to me, I bet it's pretty quiet there at school. Some folks think we shut the doors in May and close up shop for 10 weeks. Nothing could be further from the truth. This summer was no exception. It was jam-packed with activities and a number of significant capital improvements to our school and campus. I'd like to share with you what's been happening at Roncalli this summer. Our athletic and academic camp hosted a record number of campers. Over 1,750 future Royals attended one or more camps. That shatters our previous high number of summer campers. Thank you to all of our families who share their children with us. It was a joy having them on campus. Thank you as well to our coaches and teachers for their great work in making summer camp opportunities available.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. We apologize for the technical difficulties on our video package piece. Again, a new aspect of home broadcasts. We'll be highlighting different things around the campus of Roncalli, but again, we apologize for the technical difficulties on that, so we'll reset and keep things here and jump straight to your keys. We'll keep it here for about 90 seconds, Dan. So, yes, I am putting you up against the clock. Both sides of the ball for Roncalli, where the adjustments need to be made, given the fact that it's an 11-point lead, but the Bulldogs get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. Play clean football. Again, statistically, we look good so far. I think defensively been playing pretty well, limiting the big plays. Columbus North hasn't had a play over 15 yards, so you love to see that. So not much schematically to adjust. It's really just simplifying things, not being overzealous. Don't commit the stupid penalties, and just simplify it as much as you can here in the second half. Play hard football.
Where, if anything, is changed from an offensive attack standpoint? Heavy run set, as we know, is the bread and butter for Roncalli, but it was balanced at times, too. Do you expect that to continue in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a running team, you got to be able to throw the ball to loosen up the box a little bit. And going 10 for 13 for 73 yards passing the ball in the first half, that's what leads you to be able to average 6.2 yards per rush, right? So if you can't do that, then a team's just going to keep committing hats into the box so that it's really hard to run the football. But Colin Ash being so efficient is allowing this running game to open up. And when you've got a kid like Ben Brandenburg who's so physical and fast, I mean, that's a recipe for a state championship winning team.
Dan mentioned this at the top of the broadcast. It is a relatively new rivalry between these two clubs. Roncalli leads that all-time series 5-2 and an impressive 5-1 on the campus of Roncalli High School. Should be noted in that regard what the Royals have been able to do. And correction on that, Royals lead the all-time series 7-2, I beg your pardon. 5-1 on the campus of Roncalli High School, 2-1 at Columbus North. So as we mentioned, not the type of mix of hype and bad blood that the older rivalries have, but a new budding one all the same that the Royals have dominated to this point. They're hoping to continue that and are 2 quarters away from doing exactly that. We'll take our final break of halftime. We'll step out for 2 minutes and be back with the start of the second half after this at the intermission 8th ranked Roncalli 21, Columbus North 10, second half.
For reliable HVAC professionals, look no further than Ane and Bartram Heating and Cooling. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, Ane and Bartram are available to handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Ane and Bartram strive to be the best, so call them today at 317-889-9574. They even have 24/7 emergency service. Call them today, Ane and Bartram, 317-889-9574. Hey, maybe the summer blew by and your child hasn't been to his or her back-to-school eye exam. Let the experts take a look and schedule an appointment today with Vision Quest Eye Care. Vision Quest has 2 locations to serve you and your family in Greenwood and Geist. Visit VisionQuestEyeCare.com and schedule today. That's VisionQuestEyeCare.com.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at IndyTeledata.com.
Harding Porman is a full-service printing and brand communications company. From creative services and strategy to print, signage, digital output, warehousing and fulfillment, mailing, e-commerce storefronts, and even mobile solutions. They are dedicating to helping their clients get the most out of their brand communication efforts with the quality they can see and results they can be sure of. Get the most out of your brand communications. Certified to be the best, Harding Porman.
To Roncalli Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network. I'm Jimmy Cook. With me, my partner in crime, as is tradition with this 2023 campaign, the talented Dan Lauk. Royals lead the Bulldogs of Columbus North at the break. 21-10, a final look at those first half stats. Anything jump out at you in particular that maybe we did not hit on during the intermission?
Yeah, I think third down conversions, Jimmy, on both sides of the ball. So if you look last week in the Chittard game, Royals really struggled to convert on third down, whereas the Trojans did convert. And if you're a fan, you look at that statistic, whether it's high school, NFL, college, that's going to be a big differentiator between who's winning and who's losing. So Royals go 5 of 8 on third down in the first half, whereas the Bulldogs go 3 of 8. So we're winning that battle, which is a huge battle. I talk about the games within the game, and that's one of them. Can you win on third down on both sides of the ball? And the Royals have done that so far.
Columbus North, how aggressive do you anticipate they'll be to open the second half?
Nothing to lose. Again, I mentioned they've only got 8 seniors on the roster. This is a team learning on the fly, much like Roncalli is. So they're going to come out here and be aggressive. And I've been really impressed with Asher Ratliff, especially at quarterback. So I think the key for the Royal defense is to keep him in the pocket, because when he's able to get out of the pocket and keep his eyes downfield, that's where he's dangerous. So continue to bring the pressure, but bring it with some discipline to where you're not looking for the hit stick every single time. Keep them into that web. Let your teammates corral and get the sack if you have to, but keep Asher Ratliff in the pocket, play clean defense, continue to run the ball effectively offensively, and I think we'll come away with the win here tonight.
Tyrese DeGraffenried and Sam Marino back to receive Levi Whistler's kick to start the second half. An electric night at Roncalli Stadium for CYO night. It's an end-over-ender that will reach the end zone for a touchback. And we'll see for the first time in this second half the Bulldogs offense, again led by Asher Ratliff. Ratliff in that first half, 9 for 18 for 49 yards and an interception.
I think the key there, Jimmy, is he was also their leading rusher, and that's where he's dangerous, is with his feet. I'm going to say I probably annoy people on the call. I love kickers that can put it into the back of the end zone. As a former defensive coordinator, when you can make a team start at the 20 every time, that's a weapon.
Well, to make you feel a little bit better in that regard, it's the first time you've said it on this broadcast. 1st and 10 from their own 20 for the Bulldogs. 2 wide receivers to the left, none to the right, but 2 men in the backfield either side of Ratliff. He claps twice. It's a screen, caught at the 22, out to the 20. Perhaps a loss of 1, depending on where they spot this, because it was going the wrong way for the Bulldogs, and I believe it will be a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Great perimeter tackling there by the Royals. The Columbus North Bulldogs have tried a few times to quickly get the ball out to the perimeter to their playmakers, but the Royals have done a great job tackling in space.
They're going to call it no gain, in fact. So 2nd and 10 on their own 20. 2 wide receivers to the right for Ratliff, none to the left. Once again, 2 men in the backfield with him. He sends a man in motion. That's Prescott. It's a screen to him. Royals trying to fight through the blockers, and they do to limit the damage. It'll be a short gain on 2nd down for Prescott. We'll call it a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 from the 25 for Columbus North.
And again, Columbus North there is just trying to see what the Roncalli defense is going to do with that exit motion, pushing the running back out of the formation, see if Roncalli's going to empty the box with the linebacker or keep that linebacker in there. That time they kept the linebacker in there, so Asher Ratliff flips it out there for a 5-yard gain.
Right next to the Roncalli student section, operate the Bulldogs. 3rd and 5 from their own 25. 4 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Takes the snap, throws into the flat. It's caught. Tackle is made. There's a flag near the sideline, and the reason for the flag, at least my guess, Dan, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I said 4 wide because I thought they sent a man out in motion. Instead, it was another Bulldog trying to get off the field. I think they might have had 12 men.
Good catch. I didn't catch that, but yeah, that certainly could be the case. Yeah, either way, it looked like he was short of the line to gain. So
well short, so it would set up 4th down. But again, it looked like they had a guy coming off late for the Bulldogs.
Yep, illegal substitution.
But the penalties declined because, as Dan mentioned, it's short of the line to gain on the tackle made by the Royals. So that'll make it 4th down. And not only that, but the Royals defense does their job to open this half. We mentioned you always love to double dip as a team. You love to defer to the second half, get an opportunity to score twice effectively in 2 possessions on the carryover at the intermission. The Royals potentially the victims of that here, but their defense rises to the occasion, and it's a punt taken by Sam Rader at the 35, and he's shoestrung from behind at the 38-yard line. So the Royals offense will operate from their own 38 after the punt by Jace Emmett.
A lot of things to like there, Jimmy. Number one, coming out of the half after you were sloppy in the first half, really well executed defensively, schematically, and tackled well in the open field. And then even on that punt there, Sam Rader, who muffed one earlier in the game, stays aggressive, catches the ball, even with a defender in his face. He gets tackled, but it gives the Roncalli offense good field position.
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Ash on this 1st and 10 from their own 38. Has a man in the backfield, and he hands it off that way to the 38-yard line.
Brandenburg, the ball carrier.
He'll fight forward with Brandenburg all the way to the 40. So call it a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
So only able to get a couple here, but it's still just 2nd and 8, and with the way Roncalli's been able to run the ball tonight, this isn't necessarily a passing situation. You're still able to hand the ball off, especially if you count the box and like the numbers that you see.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Morelli on the left side. Brandenburg once again the tailback on this 2nd and 8 from the 40. High snap and a flag thrown by the sideline official on the far side of the field in the area of false start on the Royals, and that is indeed what it appears to be. We talked about it. 12 penalties for north of 100 yards in that first half. It needed to be cleaned up by the Royals in the second half. Still a long way to go, but not a great start in that department.
And again, not a penalty of aggression or trying to make a play. It's a false start. It's a mental penalty. It's something you completely control.
For fans at any other level, Dan, it's the most nerve-wracking penalty of all at home, especially.
Yeah, it seems so easy. Wait for the count, but it's not. But still, you got to clean it up.
2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left on this 2nd and 13 for the Roncalli 35. Ash gives to Brandenburg. Skedaddles to the left, out to the 35-40, has the edge 45-50, and has the first down yardage.
A little sidestep skip by Ben Brandenburg leads to a big scamper. Moves the change and has the Royals just past midfield to the 45 of Columbus North.
Great run by Ben Brandenburg. Columbus North had initial pressure there. It looked like there was going to be a tackle in the backfield. He ends up getting to the corner. I still didn't think it was going to go for much, but a nice play by Charlie Elsner to come back and spring that with a block.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ash in the gun. 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs 45. Brandenburg trailing for a screen. And so that's going to be a go ball down the field. It's caught by Sweezy. 10-5, and he's tackled just short of the goal line. Last second, Ash threw a go ball directly to Christian Sweezy. Mr. Reliable holds it in. 1st and goal from the 2.
Absolutely love it, Jimmy. They've run that swing route to the running back plenty of times over the past few weeks. They fake it this time and send Sweezy up the seam, and we talked about it before the game. You got to hit your playmakers vertical to show that you're able to hit that big play, because we haven't shown it so far this season. They do so there again.
1st and goal from the 1 for the Royals. 9 minutes to play. 3rd quarter, they lead 21-10. Ash in the gun. Brandenburg to his left side. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Takes the snap. Brandenburg dives forward. No signal. I think he was stopped at about the half-yard line. Good initial penetration by the Bulldogs defense. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, every gap occupied there, so it's really just a battle of the wills. You got to beat the man across from you. You know, in modern-day football, that's not always the case, but when you get down close to the goal line like this, it's mano-y-mano. You know who you're blocking. The defense knows what gaps they have, and it's just, a game of tug-of-war or push and shove, and that time, Columbus North got the better of us. Let's see if we can punch it in here.
2nd and goal from the 1, Ash in the gun. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. Brandenburg the tailback. He sends a man in motion. That's Prendergast. Ash claps once, takes the snap, gives it to Brandenburg. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown Royals. 8:10 to play in this 3rd quarter. A 1-yard walk-in, untouched for Ben Brandenburg. His 2nd of the ball game, and the Royals back in the driver's seat, 27-10.
Yeah, fantastic job by the offensive line there. I mean, even unathletic principal Kevin Bonich could have walked that one in. I'm kidding. He's a good athlete, but fantastic job up front there by the Royals to punch it in and really seize the momentum in this game.
Whistler on for the point after try. Good snap. Good hold. Whistler's kick is good. Ben Brandenburg's 1-yard walk-in makes it an 18-point lead for the Royals with 8:10 to play in this 3rd quarter. We'll step away for 30 seconds and be right back. It's Roncalli 28, Columbus North 10.
We know how critical AC can be to your comfort, and we want to make sure you're comfortable in every season. That's why right now, when you install a qualifying AC system with Peterman Brothers, we'll include the furnace for free. That's right, Indiana. The furnace is free. And if you schedule today, we'll install your new system tomorrow, guaranteed. Visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule online in seconds.
$8:10 to play in this 3rd quarter. 5 plays, 62 yards in 2 minutes and 16 seconds, capped off by a stroll down Prague for 1 yard by Ben Brandenburg to make it 28-10 Roncalli here in this 3rd quarter. Whistler's kick is away into the end zone for a touchback, and we'll see the Bulldogs of Columbus North for the 2nd time tonight after the Roncalli defense was able to turn them away for a 3-and-out to start the half.
Yeah, I don't think enough people are talking about how well this defense has played this year, Jimmy. I mean, if you look at this Columbus North team has been putting up points. I mean, yes, they were in a tight battle with Decatur Central week 1, but outside of that, they've been putting up 40-plus points a game. The Chittard offense last week that we saw was averaging, almost 300 yards rushing, and they really shut them down for most of the game. So kudos to this defense and this defensive staff for what they've shown so far this year.
2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left on this 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' own 20-yard line. Ratliff has Prescott and Mermino on either side in the backfield. Takes the snap, rolls to the right, looking over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted. Late coverage collapse by A.J. Richardson. The intended receiver on that far right side for the Bulldogs was Jake Havenar.
But Richardson there to break it up.
Great anticipation by A.J. It looked like he almost baited the throw there. He was in good position the entire way, kind of relaxed there before the pass, and then once the ball left the quarterback's hands, he broke on it, nearly had the pick.
Correction on the intended receiver, Jordan Brenner, the intended target for the Bulldogs. But either way, Richardson breaks it up. 2nd and 10 from their own 20 for the Bulldogs. Royals lead at 28-10, 8:04 to play in this third quarter. Trips to the right for the Bulldogs. 3-step drop. Ratliff looking, airs it out, has a man, incomplete, overshot him. His intended receiver that time was Braylon Thoman. Good coverage by the Royals. There in space was Parker Doherty, as well as a couple other Royals in coverage, and it's 3rd and 10.
The Royals are only sending three-man pressure right now, so more than happy to just drop back in zone coverage and keep everything in front of them, similar to what they've done all season, really.
Bulldogs look to the sidelines. 17 on the play clock, in need of a score here to keep pace with this Royals offense. It's 3rd and 10 from their own 20. 2 wide receivers out left, 2 spaced further out to the right. Ratliff, 2-step drop, drifts right, looking downfield. Royals pressure comes. He's going to try to tuck it and run, and he's swallowed up. 2 Royals there to make the play. Sam New was one of them, as well as Ben Brandenburg, to make the stop and force another punt. It's a gain of 2 in total as Ratliff scrambled, but the Royals limit it to 2, and the punting unit back on the field for Columbus North.
And that is a fantastic play from Ben Brandenburg. That should be the number 1 play on his highlight tape that he sends out to colleges. He came as the bomber from the inside, but he didn't just flat out run straight at the quarterback. He broke down and made a really nice open field tackle against an athlete.
Sam Rader stands the 40, a skying punt that Rader takes and fair catches at the 35. Or the 45, I beg your pardon, of Roncalli. So Sam Rader with a fair catch at the 45-yard line, and that'll be 1st and 10 for Roncalli. Again, the first time they've really been in a driver's seat this late in the game since the opener against Southport. They lead it by 18 with 7:13 to play in the third, 28-10. And boy, was that a pretty go ball from Ash to Sweezy that set up the Ben Brandenburg inevitable touchdown last drive.
Yeah, and we talked about it before the game. Columbus North will give you those looks, especially on 1st and 2nd down. So the Royals were able to take that shot and complete it. Fantastic execution. Let's see if they can do it again.
A wide receiver on either side for Ash on 1st and 10 from the 45. Takes the snap. Give it to Brandenburg. Up the middle. He churns the legs forward for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 upcoming.
And again, that's fine. 2nd and 7, you're on script. You've got your entire playbook to work with. You can run the ball here again if you'd like to. You can also try to open it up and throw it deep again. You got all kinds of things that you can choose from here.
3 wide receivers bunched to the left for the Royals, 1 to the right. 2nd and 7 from their own 48-yard line. Ash in the gun, 1 man behind him in the backfield. It is Ben Brandenburg. Takes the snap, gives it to Brandenburg, and flags fly for a false start. They'll go against the Royals, move things back. Another mental miscue. We'll distract the mental miscue for just a second. I realize that I'm being picky here, and I am inherently, Dan, critical of the officials sometimes, but that false start by the far side official, he just kind of just tossed it. Like someone just...
Well, his arm's sore, Jimmy. He's had to throw so many of them.
Fair. That's a good point. What are we up to? A combined, by both teams, 21 flags thrown, and we still have 6:24 to play in this third quarter. 2nd and 12.
Get the middle reliever out here.
2nd and 12 in the Roncalli 43. High snap, handoff Brandenburg. Jabs once, makes the man miss. Spinning to the 50, all the way to the 45. Extra effort might be enough for the first down. They're going to mark him there. Ben Brandenburg picks up 12 on the extra effort to move the chains, and some good pile work as well by the Royals pushing him home.
Jimmy, are you a French toast guy or a pancake guy?
If you made me choose, I'm going pancakes, but I don't want to ruin your analogy.
Well, as a football guy, that's the correct the correct choice.
All right, good. All right.
Massive pancake there. I believe that was from Johnny Jaffe there, but offensive line getting the job done.
You know, I usually hear that question presented as waffles. I'm intrigued that you went French toast as option 2.
Keeping you on your toes.
1st and 10 from the 45 of Columbus North. Give us to Ben Brandenburg. Keeps the legs moving again. Call it a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 upcoming.
Well, and an ode to our Heinekamp family. She's over in Europe, right?
Allison Heinekamp, yes. Over
France? Is she in France?
There were a number of destination spots, and now you're putting me in a bad spot because it seems like I didn't listen.
Yeah.
I know. Here's what I know, and this is terrible of me. This shows my lack of listening skills. There is a relative of the Heinekamp family in like the World Ironman Championships. I know that much. That's all I have.
Doing things that you and I can't do.
Correct. Yes. Well, I mean, I definitely can't. You have a better shot than any of us on this 2nd and 4 from the Columbus North 39. Give us to Brandenburg once again. That might be Benich, actually. Let's see who jumps up first. It is indeed Rogan Benich. He'll get near the first down on 2nd and 4. They'll call him a yard short. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the Roncalli 36-yard line.
Yeah, again, ball on the 36-yard line, 3rd down. You assume this is 2-down territory here where you'll go for it on 4th. I really like a shot play here, knowing that, especially with how effectively we run the ball. You know they're likely going to crowd the box here, and you might have numbers on the perimeter. Let's see what the Royals do.
Single wideouts on either side. 3rd and 1. High snap. Give us to Benich. He stutter steps. He keeps moving forward. Dives for the first down. And that'll keep the drive alive for the Royals with 4:20 to play in this 3rd quarter, leading by 18.
And again, really confident in their running game right now. I think the offensive line is finding their rhythm. We talked about earlier in the season, there's some really talented kids up front. They just haven't had a lot of experience, especially compared to the teams we've had over the past 2 years. But you're starting to see that offensive line communicate with each other, really be on the same page. You know, the false start penalties, obviously we got to clean that up, but outside of that, they've executed well, especially in the run game.
Ash in the gun, 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. Once again, it's Rogan Benich, who's directly behind him on this 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs 33. Claps once, handoff. Benich, no, Ash keeps it and then throws it to the sideline. It's caught, still moving in space all the way to the 25, near the first down marker. I believe the reception is made by Rudy Shutley. Indeed it is, but a flag flies late.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what this penalty is.
They pointed towards the Royals. He was not past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Right.
It was a clean ball.
It was a run-pass option, and again, if you're within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage there, the lineman can be downfield, and it's not, we had a holding penalty.
The hold against the Royals. There was one other blocker on that far side of the field. I believe, and I know with penalties you don't want to place blame, so I'll say I believe, but it was all the way on the far side of the field, that it was Connor Kessler on that side with Shutley. Either way, a Royal commits another penalty. It's a hold. And it's now 1st and 16, all the way back to the Roncalli 39. Wide receivers bunch to the left near the line of scrimmage, 1 wide receiver to the right. Ash takes the snap. Give is to Brandenburg, and he'll get most of that penalty yardage back. Call it a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 11 upcoming.
Yeah, great initial surge there from the offensive line. Good push. Zane Baker pulling around from the right guard. He gets upfield, actually didn't have anybody to block. So nice gain there from the Royals. Again, it's 2nd and 11 now, but at the point of the field that you're in right now, you really are playing this where you've got 3 more downs. You don't expect to, you're obviously not going to punt from this situation, barring a penalty, but, the Royals got plenty to play with here. The playbook's still open.
1 wide receiver to the left, 1 to the right. Ash once again in shotgun. Brandenburg to his left side, 2nd and 11 from the Bulldogs 34. Royals lead at 28-10. 2:45 to go, 3rd quarter. Ash high snap, rolls left, gets Elzer in the flat to the 30. 25-20, still going to the 18 before he's finally brought down. An unnecessary roughness going to be called on Roncalli, but unfortunately, Charlie Elsner bit on the push by the Bulldogs. And by bit on the push, I mean after he was thrown down unnecessarily, there was still chirping by Jackson Haston of the Bulldogs. It got under Elsner's skin to a point. He pushed back. I think these will likely be offsetting penalties.
Yeah, it will be. And again, the second man's usually the one that gets caught. Now, luckily, the first man got caught here as well, so it should be offsetting. But again, you talk about the mental penalties, and I understand. You got tackled out of bounds. You're frustrated. You just, the play was super well executed by the Roncalli offense, but you gotta know how to handle that situation. You have to control your emotions. I got a 2-year-old daughter in daycare right now learning the hot water, cold water, turn them on, turn them off, take a big breath, and reset, right? So she doesn't hit daddy anymore. Same thing. Look, I get it. I'm 32 years old. It's
people want to hit you. I understand. I mean, can't blame her, right?
Yeah, but football is as much a mental game as it is physical.
Sure.
And you just got to be able to control your emotions there.
It'll be 2nd Well, we'll wait for the penalty yardage to be established first. It is going to be, it should be offsetting penalties, right? Why are the Royals backing up? I think the far side official got confused, and now they're going to walk back. It should be offsetting personal fouls on both teams. Let's wait for the official indication. Still having a lot of talking and conversating here. All right, here goes the white hat. Personal foul on the Bulldogs. And now they're moving up. Personal. Okay, someone educate me here. Do we need to mime out where the ball was going to go and where it wasn't going to go like it's a tennis match?
You know, the way they're walking this off, Jimmy, it's like they're maybe because it was a dead ball penalty after the first down, because it looks like now it's going to be first and 15 or so, 16 or so for the Royals, which doesn't make that much sense to me. I mean, Charlie Elsner had picked up the first down, hit out of bounds.
Correct me if I'm wrong, they both should be dead ball fouls because he was already out of play. So if it's unnecessary roughness, that's a dead ball foul. And then he pushed him, and it's a dead ball foul. It should be offsetting penalties.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And Coach Quintana was asking the white hat as well, and they're talking about it again. It should be 15 yards either way. And they got their steps in, and now they're going to talk to Coach Quintana again, it looks like.
We don't have a mic there, so we'll just have to try to rip lead. They're pointing now to Columbus North.
Okay, they're going to move the sticks back. So I thought Charlie Elsner had gotten farther upfield here. It is going to be 1st and 10 for the Royals now that this is all settled. I'm not sure why it's at the 21.
Yeah, I don't know, because he was at the 18 when that happened. He was tackled at the 18, but now it's 1st and 10 from the 26. A wide receiver on either side. Ash takes the snap, fakes to Brandenburg, to Sweezy right side, and the pass is low in the dirt. They went once again with one of those quick balls down the far sideline, but Sweezy could not make the catch at 2nd and 10.
And I don't hate the call. As I said, Jimmy, Columbus North is going to be really aggressive on running downs, 1st and 2nd down, so they decide to throw it there. Initial push right up the middle from Columbus North, so Colin wasn't able to get his feet set and fire in a strike.
Ash looks back over to the sidelines. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Roncalli 26. 2:33 to play in this third quarter. Royals 28, Bulldogs 10. A wide receiver to the left, one to the right. Ash takes the snap, gives it to Brandenburg. Full head of steam, and he is plowed backwards. And that really emphasizes how big of a win that was for the Bulldogs defensive line, because it is a hard day's work to try to push back Brent Brandenburg the way he was there.
Yeah, it was well executed up front. We had a pulling guard. Play was going up to the field side to Columbus North sideline, and Johnny Jaffe just missed his kick-out block, and a lot of hats there to pick out. Columbus North is obviously being down 18 with 2 minutes left in the third. They're going to commit a lot of hats in the box. It's going to be tough to run the ball right now.
3rd and 10 from the Bulldogs' 26-yard line for the Royals. Ash has Brandenburg to his left side. A wide receiver to the left, one to the right. Man in motion is Pendergast. Takes the snap, rolls left, throws to Elsner. They go back to bread and butter again. He catches it at the 20, but it'll be about 5 yards short. And correction on that, it was not Elsner. It was the same motion as what they like to use to Elsner, but instead they go back up tight end that way in J.J. Pendergast. Either way, he's short, but Dan, as you mentioned, you're not kicking a field goal here in this part of the field. 4th and 5. You might think about going for this.
Yeah, I don't hate the play call there. Pick up 5 or 6, make it manageable. And they had the heavy set in there with both Elsner and Prendergast, and I really like that play. Colin Ash is very comfortable running it, and now it gets you in a position where you could pick up the first down fairly easily here.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ash in the gun, Brandenburg next to him. 4th and 5 from the Bulldogs' 21-yard line. Royals by 18. Ash takes the snap. 2-step drop. It's a screen to Brandenburg. He breaks out of one tackle, but he's not going to get close to the sticks. It's going to be a turnover on down for the Royals. They're going to end up being tackled right at about the original mark, well short of the line to gain. So it's a roll the dice moment. You're not kicking a field goal there. It's hard to fully be upset, other than maybe, and I'll defer to you as the coach, film session later, and Ash did have pressure coming, maybe better off to just take a shot versus a screen that's not going to be close to the sticks. Want to give your receiver a chance. That's a learning moment, I would think, for the sophomore.
Yeah, he went to what was open, and that was the swing route. Unfortunately, Columbus North had it gobbled up, and had he been able to go to a second option anyways, he probably would have been sacked. So not much you can do there.
Two wide receivers to the left, none to the right for Ratliff on this 1st and 10 from their 26. Ratliff down the sideline. It's intercepted. Intercepted on a ladder by Roncalli Sam Rader. He jumped up on a magic carpet ride and took it out of the air for the interception for the Royals, and they're in business now with 50 seconds to go in this third quarter. They'll have it at the Columbus North 39.
My goodness, what an athletic play, and especially for a kid whose dad was an offensive lineman and defensive lineman back in the early 90s. A good player in himself and John Rader, but Sam Rader going up high, climbing the ladder to make that play. And if you remember back to the Southport game, Sam almost had the exact same play on the long touchdown Southport had, but just missed it. This time, not so, and he comes up with the big turnover there.
Good shot of the Royal student section. Rowdy as ever. Two wide receivers to the left, none to the right on 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs 39. Give is to Bennett. He's got space to the 30, and one tackle from behind away. If he could have broken it from a house call, he takes it all the way to the Bulldog 25-yard line, moves the chains on a 14-yard scamper.
Yeah, good push by the Roncalli offensive line, led by Carter Sitzman on that right side, the right tackle. It really opened up a nice vertical seam for Bennett, and what I like there is he stuck his cleat in the ground and got vertical as quickly as he possibly could when he saw that seam.
1st and 10 from the Bulldog 27. Two wide receivers to the left, none to the right. Ash with Bennett in the backfield directly behind him. Operates in shotgun, receives the play, and now maybe thinking about an audible from the sidelines with 5 on the play clock. Royals might have to burn a timeout here. 3 on the play clock. Ash gets it off, high snap, he'll keep it himself. Ash spinning, turning, and tackled after a gain of 5, and that'll be the final play of this third quarter. Well, it flew by, that third quarter did. The Royals able to put together a scoring drive on their first possession of the half, and some great defense gives them a chance to add to that lead as we go to the final frame. 3 quarters down, 1 quarter to go. Heading into the final frame, Royals 28. Valley Media Network.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers.
Three quarters down, 1 quarter to go from Bob Tully Field. With Dan Lauk, I'm Jimmy Cook. Thanks so much for spending part of your Friday evening with us on the Roncalli Media Network. Royals 12 minutes away from improving to 500 on the season. And they've got the ball in a great spot, 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs' 23-yard line as we go to the other end of the stadium. Colin Ash in shotgun. Rogan Bennett is the tailback. 2 wide receivers to the left, none to the right. Bennett now directly on the left hip of Ash. Fake the handoff. Ash rolls left, fires over the middle. Caught by Sweezy to the 10, to the 5, and brought down at the 3. The defender overcommit on the route when Sweezy caught it. Flew by Sweezy as he did a nice spin move, and then was just tackled from behind down at the 2 to set up 1st and goal.
Love the play call. Coming out of the quarter, you had time to get your team to the sideline and set up exactly what you want. They take another shot there. Sweezy was lined up at the web on the left side, so he wasn't in his usual wide spot. They sneak him up at the seam, and Colin Ash made a really nice throw across his body to hit him, and unfortunately for Sweezy, tackled inside the 5 once again.
1st and goal from the 2, operating in the gun. Bennett is the tailback. Morelli and Shutley to the right side. High snap. Give it to Bennett. He sidesteps and is stopped at the 1. So 2nd and goal from the 1 upcoming. I'm going to give him that yard. I don't know if the officials will. I think he got at least a yard on forward progress.
Yeah, that's the second time this drive we've seen the snap execution not be super crisp, and that could have had. I thought for a second there might be a hole for Rogan to hit, and it closed up quickly.
It is no gain, though. I tried. I did what I could. Morelli to the left. Sweezy to the right. Ash in the gun. Ben Brandenburg, the tailback. Left side, 2nd and goal from the 2. Ash, handoff. No, he keeps it himself, and he's thrown down. Ash with the option there, decided to keep it himself, and the Bulldogs were ready for it. They had 2 to wrap him around, and now it's a loss of 4, 3rd and goal from the 6.
Yeah, and we've got a good angle here to see exactly what Colin Ash is seeing, and it was kind of a tweener. If you're in the middle of the field spread out, that might have been the right call to pull it there, but when you're down on the goal line, Columbus North obviously isn't playing with any safeties because they don't have to, because the in-line is behind them. It's much tougher to get away with that pull there, although he did last week against Chittard.
Morelli to the left, Sweezy to the right. 3rd and goal from the 6. Brandenburg's the tailback, Ash in the gun. Sends Pendergast in motion. Ash rolls right, looking. He's going to go for the pylon himself. Touchdown, Royals. Colin Ash, a 6-yard run on the quarterback keeper, and the Royals have blown it open with 9:57 to go in the 4th. It's 34-10 Roncalli.
Great decision by Colin Ash. And I'll tell you what, Jimmy, he just looks very confident right now. Everything he's doing is fast. His eyes are staying downfield the entire time. He's just so efficient, and especially for a sophomore. He's, coming into this season, you look at the depth chart, he might have been 3rd string in the summer, and he's not playing like that. He's definitely not hurting Roncalli. In fact, he's helping them.
I'll have a Colts elaboration for you here in just a second, or a Colts comparison, rather. Whistler on for the point after try, and it is good. In a similar sense, Dan Lauk, I know there are different levels of play, but we talk about how helpful reps can be. Colts fans are hoping for reps to be beneficial for Anthony Richardson this season. The Royals have had benefits via reps for Colin Ash. He runs it in for 6 yards on the quarterback keeper. 9:57 to play. All Royals 35-10. Back in
Steve's Flowers and Gifts is your family-owned Indianapolis and Greenwood florist. Our mission is to establish and maintain the highest level of floral value and customer service at comfortable consumer prices. For the best and freshest flowers in Indianapolis and surrounding areas, Steve's Flowers and Gifts has exactly what you're looking for. Check out our wide selection of flower arrangements to make your next occasion memorable. Call 317-787-3431 or visit us at 3150
Father Time is undefeated. I'll explain why during this 4th quarter. 35-10, the Royals lead the Bulldogs of Columbus North. 9:57 to go in this 4th quarter. 6-yard run by Colin Ash for the score. Levi Whistler boots it away into the end zone for the touchback. You are how old?
I don't want to comment. I'm 32.
All right, I'm 28, so it doesn't work. It doesn't work for us. This is where, and we haven't given him enough love throughout the season because we want him to enjoy retirement from the broadcast booth in the sunset. But this is where playing off of Dan Bauer can be helpful, because a little Justin Bieber was just played by the student section. His first ever hit, Baby, was playing throughout there, and it made me feel old, very old. And I know I gave Dan Bauer a hard time like that. That is the circle of life. That's the Father Time is undefeated mentality when songs are being played from, not yesteryear, but you get what I mean, 14 years ago, and it's like, oh, and here we are.
I thought you stepped down to follow Justin on tour.
It is. No? That's partially true, actually, believe it or not. 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' own 20 on the touchback. It's a handoff for a gain of 5. He's more of a Harry Styles guy, actually.
Yeah, that's more Dan Styles.
It'll be a 6-yard pickup on the carry that time for Prescott. Sam New on the tackle. 9:35 to play, all Roncalli. We said it on the first drive. We'll say it again here. Just what the doctor ordered. Royals in front by 25 with 9.5 to play. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Ratliff. He has a running back on either side of him. Takes the snap, handoff Prescott, full head of steam, and he'll be tackled, correction. He'll keep the legs moving despite somebody on his back all the way to the first down yardage and pick up a 4.
Yeah, and again, Roncalli jumping out to a quick lead, 21-0, has really forced Columbus North to change their game plan.
It's a tone setter.
Right, and that is typically what Columbus North has looked like on film. Hand the ball off to Geno Prescott and let him be athletic, and they haven't been able to do that by trailing all game.
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line.
Ratliff, handoff once again, and this time it's a stone wall that they run into. Among the would-be tacklers there for the Royals was Sam Rader, but a flag flies for unnecessary roughness for the Royals. I tell you what, you can speak to this more than I can because you played at this level. This is one of those days where if you're the Royals, you're going to feel good about the win. Going to feel really good about it, and it'll probably be a happy blockhouse, but might still be a rough week of practices with all the penalties that have stacked up. Not the same as after a loss, but enough that there's going to be a little extra work put in, I would think.
Well, listen, if this is the regional championship, you lose this game. It's 17 penalties for 150 yards. The Royals have given up more penalty yardage than they've given up on defense tonight.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
So now it's 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' 48-yard line after the unnecessary roughness call. Ratliff rolls two wide receivers to the right, one to the left. He fires near the sideline. It's bobbled, but the catch is made near the sideline for a gain of about 6, second down.
And a play Roncalli is more than willing to give up. With 8.5 minutes left, you got a 25-point lead. The only way for Columbus North to get back into this game is with huge explosive plays. So keep everything in front of you, make good tackles in the open field. Roncalli should be fine.
2nd and 5 from the Roncalli 47-yard line. A wide receiver on either side for Ratliff. He sends a man in motion. Takes the snap. Handoff. Prescott keeps moving forward, and that's actually Sam Marmino on the carry, but he'll only pick up 3. It'll set up 3rd and 2.
Nice job by Justin Anciso, the defensive end, to turn his shoulders and get straight down the line of scrimmage. He ends up making the tackle from the weak side. Bringing up a big-time 3rd and 2 here for Columbus North.
It's 3rd down and 2.
To be 3rd and 2 for the Bulldogs from their own, or from the Roncalli 44-yard line. Takes the snap. Handoff. No, Ratliff's going to keep it himself, but he cut upfield instead of the edge, and he's going to be short. The Royals had it well covered. I don't know if he would have won the foot race to the edge, but he didn't decide to test that. He turned it back upfield, and he's tackled a yard short of the line to gain. The Bulldogs will obviously go for it.
And they're going to go quick here.
4th and 1. Ratliff under center. QB sneak. Pile push. He did not get there. The Royals turn the Bulldogs away. Let's wait for official indication. But from our vantage point, that is a turnover on downs. Let's wait and see.
Oh, yeah, he's a full yard short from what it looks like here.
Turnover on downs. The Royals defense continues to be outstanding this season, and the fruits of their labor shown tonight. Turnover on downs.
And that's where good disciplined football comes in. You've seen it multiple times tonight. Columbus North, when they've got a short yardage situation, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, they like to get up on the ball quick and run that quarterback sneak. They've shown it on film as well. The Roncalli defense was ready for it. They immediately got up to the line of scrimmage and lined up. You know, you stop a team on 3rd down and you want to celebrate and tap your teammates on the head, but when you know the other team has shown on film that they will get up there quick and try to run as quickly as possible, you got to get up to the ball, and the Royals did. Fantastic job defensively.
After the turnover on downs, 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line, 7.5 to play, 35-10 Royals. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Ash. Bennett, the tailback, to Ash's right side. Handoff Bennett, trying to find the left edge, now cuts back upfield to the 50, keeps the legs churning to the 47-yard line. Be about 2nd and a yard.
And I mentioned it on the last drive, Jimmy, that Rogan did an excellent job getting his foot in the ground and going vertical when that seam opened up. That play, the seam didn't open up as quickly, and he did a great job being patient and just waiting for his blockers to figure things out and wait for that seam to open up, and then he committed to it.
They'll call it actually a gain of 8. The Royals will huddle up. Look like they were going to go no huddle for a second. Now Ash calls everybody back with 15 on the play clock. 7 minutes even to play, 4th quarter. Royals 35, Bulldogs 10.
A huddle? Is this 1992?
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ash in the gun. Claps once, high snap. He'll keep it himself again, and he's brought down. It's been well read both times by the Bulldogs, and both times, again, Colin Ash has played phenomenal tonight. So this is more advice critique versus critical critique. We've seen that twice now in the second half where the safer choice probably would have been just to give it to the tailback.
Yeah, he's got a little taste of success pulling that ball, and he's a little bit too eager to pull it every time. The way you teach it, and I know Coach Burton teaches it this way, is it's got to be 100%. Like, if it's in between, you hand the ball off to your running back. So if that defender hasn't completely turned his shoulders and is working down the line of scrimmage, you don't pull it. So both times they've kind of been in between, and Colin has chosen to pull it. And again, you don't commit to the pull unless it's an obvious one.
Royals are going to take a timeout. We will take one with them. It'll be a 30-second timeout. 3rd and 7. Yard line when we return. Correction, it'll be the Roncalli 46-yard line. I beg your pardon. When we return. Roncalli 35.
Providing comfort for families in their time of need is the main concern of the staff at Lauk Veldoff Funeral Home. We are a small family-owned firm and take great pride in the personal service we offer and the family-like atmosphere at our facility. At Lauk Veldoff, we only serve one family at a time, providing compassionate care and affordable options, truly part of your community. Lauk and Veldoff Funeral and Cremation Services. Call 317-636-6655.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field on the campus of Roncalli High School. All good vibes on CYO night. Royals lead at 35-10, but have a 3rd and 7 from their own 46 upcoming. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Colin Ash. Has Benich in the backfield. He'll give it to Benich, and he'll dive forward. Near midfield, ball came out. Was he down first? Let's see. No signal yet. He was indeed down by contact. I think it's going to be the mark here. It will be just down by contact, but it'll be about 3 yards short of the first down, and the Royals will wisely punt this away with 5:45 to go in this ball game, leading by 25. Was that a fumble?
I think it was, and I think we ended up recovering it, and that's why they're moving the line of scrimmage marker up a little bit. But big opportunity here for Levi Whistler. He's been really effective as a punter this season, and we'll see if he can do so again here. This is right where he wants it, right at midfield, so he can still put a full leg into it, but pin him down deep.
Jordan Brenner back to receive, stands at the 12-yard line of Roncalli. Line drive, and it's going to take a Bulldog bounce, or a Royals bounce, I beg your pardon. The Royals did their best to bat it in play to the 1. Let's see. There's a flag either way, but they're going to say the Royals down that at the 1-yard line?
And I thought it hit a Columbus North player. Now, it would have been after Roncalli touched it. So now he's saying...
Now you're going to say late, I think, touchback.
Yeah. Good effort either way.
But there is a flag down at the 38.
And that is right where Levi Whistler kicked the ball. I was watching the ball in flight, so I don't know if there was some contact late.
A personal foul against the Bulldogs.
Against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so apologies to the listeners there, but I was watching the ball in flight. It was a fantastic punt, but there must have been a hit on Whistler after he had released the punt, and a significant one to where it was a personal foul.
So this is going to end up moving the chains for the Royals on the penalty.
Yeah, big play there, and obviously with 5:11 left in the game, up 25, this is where you can start getting more players in and rotating in and getting more experience that'll be valuable down the road for you.
I need happier moments for my Chiefs after the loss yesterday, so I'll go back to the Super Bowl. Late game, they call this church mouse. You're not trying to score. You're just trying to be as quiet as you can be, get down the field, milk the clock.
Yep.
Should be the package for the Royals here. Hand off to Benich. He'll keep the legs churning all the way out to the Bulldogs 30, gain of 5, and an injured Bulldog on the field at the 35-yard line.
And you got several new Royals in there, Jonathan Parrott and C.J. McHugh at wide receiver. Got a few others on the offensive line that look like they're starting to rotate in. You like to see that. Again, as I mentioned, the more experience you can get and the more depth you can build is going to be really important for this team going forward.
Luke Russell is the injured Bulldog being attended to. We will step aside while he gets attended to. 5:02 to play in this ball game. We'll step aside for at least a minute as this stands, unless it's only a 30-second break, depending on if they're able to attend to Luke during that time span. But we'll take a break for at least a minute as things stand. 5:02 to play in this ball game. Rose the football, 2nd and 4.
Fine, your child hasn't been to his or her back-to-school eye exam. Let the experts take a look and schedule an appointment today with Vision Quest Eye Care. Vision Quest has 2 locations to serve you and your family in Greenwood and Geist.
Visit VisionQuestEyeCare.com and schedule today. That's VisionQuestEyeCare.com.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
Team wasn't everything. Very great guy. Welcome back to Bob Tully Field on the campus of Roncalli High School. Luke Russell, the injured Bulldog, still down and being attended to with 5:02 left to play. And now he is sitting up and is able to be lifted to his feet and helped off with slight assistance to cheers all around from both the Royals and Bulldogs faithful.
Yeah, Jimmy, want to put a quick plug in. I don't know how much you've been able to see, but the other fall sports at Roncalli right now going on, we've got some really talented teams out there. I know the volleyball program, I believe they're ranked number 2 in the state right now, having a really good season. Both soccer programs are looking really strong to start the season. I know the cross-country programs are going as well now, and I believe is girls golf in the fall, boys in the spring. I can't remember which way that goes, but either way, a lot of really, really good things going on with Roncalli Athletics.
Great time to be a Royal athlete, and hats off to all those fall sports athletes. 2nd and 4 from the Bulldogs 29. Handoff right side as the Royals start to go a little bit into their reserve. Simon Wellman gave the handoff there. It's Wellman in the backfield. Or it's Wellman, I'm sorry, under center. As the Royals go mainly depth with a 25-point lead in hand and 4.5 to go. Wellman looks to the sideline. Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left. Wellman takes the snap, handoff, Benich, scampering, turning, and he's bent backwards after a gain of about 4 to move the chains. Called actually a gain of 7. It'll mark him all the way at the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10, right at the red zone for the Royals. 4 minutes to play. Your 8th-ranked Royals lead the Bulldogs 35-10.
And good execution so far. You got a lot of new faces in there, still able to put a drive together here at the end of the game. Look, Jimmy, these kids are going to wake up at 6 in the morning tomorrow and drive down to Columbus for a JV game. And so think about how tough that is. Playing on a Friday night, turning around the next morning and having to go play another game.
One of the many reasons why I was not a member of the football team while I was at Roncalli. I wouldn't have been able to keep up with them anyway, let's be honest. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. I'm soft. What can I say, Dan? I don't have the commitment. We got a flag that flies in the back secondary. It'll be a delay of game, I think, actually. Indeed, it will. So to go against the Royals.
Against the Royals, it's still first down.
I prefer the vantage point from the press box.
Oh, it's much more comfortable up here.
I would agree. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wellman in the gun. Handoff. Dozier. Brick wall in the fight for the trenches. They'll actually say he dives forward for about 2. As the classic, as old as time, VICTORY chants from the Royal Student Section rings out.
Listen, Jimmy, every time they do that, I feel like this whole place is going to collapse. I love it, but it scares me.
I mean, we mentioned how nice it is to be up here, but that's the one thought, right? Is the press box going to cave in? Because the junior class is going up and down.
Yeah, love the enthusiasm. Big student section here tonight.
As you would expect. Always enjoyed getting to don the old St. Jude colors one last time. Handoff right side, a deep hit there by the Bulldogs defense. Robert Hauser with the carry. I had it was from my old, I played very briefly during the St. Jude days. I had an old, basically how it looked on me was Ezekiel Elliott style, like Ohio State, where it was cut right, but I had an undershirt on underneath.
But I love to rep the old red and gold for the Raiders in the student section.
Yeah, I'd love to see that look come back. That 80s Nebraska cut off right at the midsection.
I thought you meant you'd love to see me back in the St. Jude.
Well, that too, of course.
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left on this handoff on the right side by Robert Hauser. He'll pick up a yard, maybe 2, and set up what'll be 4th down for Roncalli.
And what's really important here, Jimmy, on a night like tonight, obviously it's an odd situation. Senior night typically is the last home game of the season, but I believe that falls on fall break this year. So wanted to have senior night on a night where you've got a big crowd and all the students are here. But to be able to be in a position where you can get all of your seniors in the game, which I would guess they've done at this point, is a big deal. Those kids work so hard, and to be able to be out here in front of their friends and their parents, it's a big deal.
Levi Whistler on for the field goal try. Good snap, good hold, curving in for Levi Whistler. And that's a big one because we talk about the leg and the power of Levi Whistler. We've always known throughout his Roncalli career he has the boom, but the accuracy this season has been a bit up and down. That's a great confidence boost right there for Levi Whistler.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to tell whether he makes it or misses it because he kicks it so far and so high. But that time looked to be right down the middle. I mean, the kid's got a heck of a leg. He's a strong athlete, and his punts have obviously been really nice this year. But to be able to have that weapon as a field goal kicker as well is huge.
It's a 36-yard field goal for Levi Whistler. 10 plays, 38 yards in 6 minutes and 41 seconds for the Royals with 54 seconds to go. We will keep it here. A reminder, coming up next is our Indy Teledata postgame show. We'll look at full game stats, hand out the coveted Indianapolis Player of the Game award. They still have not, they being Aaron Hummel and our wonderful staff in the advancement office, nobody's taken me up on the free marketing ideas I'm rolling out here, Dan. Fruit basket for the Player of the Game every week. I don't understand. Writes itself.
Yeah, well, just looking at the statistics, I think I have a code tonight. So again,
all right.
You know, I think that's what they're scared of. Dan Lauk just might put them out of business by giving out too many fruit baskets. But
the whole defense.
Yeah, right. That's what I wanted to do last week. Yeah.
I think at that point they just share it. It just goes in the locker room. The defense can
one strawberry each.
Take off some apples and some grapes and pears. The whole 9. But that and more on the Indy Teledata postgame show. 54 seconds left in this one. A bit of a short kick that's taken at the 15 to the 20, and that's where the Bulldogs will, again, in this last drive of the game, have the world as their oyster effectively. Royals going to walk out of Bob Tully Field with exactly what they hoped for, which is a win and moving back to 500. They lead it by 28, 38-10 with 49 seconds to go.
And a much cleaner second half, Jimmy, so far. There's still been the rogue penalty here and there, but not nearly as bad as the first half.
3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right for the Bulldogs, I beg your pardon. Royals show pressure. Handoff up the middle. Still carrying some tacklers. There is Prescott. Clock continues to run. That's how I judge the overall petty game, by the way. If you still have your starters out there, you're down 28, and you call timeout here, then I don't say we're throwing hands, Dan, but there's some loud noises from the press box.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying. No timeout was called. This might be the final play of the game, depending on how efficient the Bulldogs operate. 2nd and 2 from their own 28. Ratliff, handoff. Once again, Prescott has the first down yardage. Clock will stop for the chains to move. 10 seconds to go in the ball game. Clock runs now. 5 seconds to play, and that's going to be the last play of this ball game. We mentioned it coming into this one for the Royals. It was 2 brutal, tough games on the road to really identify a barometer of where this group was. Yes, they lost both, but you knew there was plenty to learn from on film, and you knew a trip back to the friendly confines of Roncalli Stadium might be just what the doctor ordered. It was indeed. Roncalli thrashes the Bulldogs of Columbus North. They win and improve to 500 at 2-2 on the season, courtesy of a 38-10 win here at Bob Tully Field.
Yeah, Jimmy, I mean, fantastic effort from Roncalli tonight. And again, I've talked about the penalties enough. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. If you just look statistically about how the Royals performed tonight, super efficient in the passing game. We're able to average, more to what they're used to in the running game. The past couple weeks, they haven't been able to break free in the running game. They did tonight. Defensively, again, another really sound game. Didn't give up any big explosive plays. So take out the penalties, and you're really happy with what you're going to see on film tomorrow morning.
We mentioned it before the final whistle, and that is, of course, the Indy Teledata postgame show, which is right around the corner. Final score from Bob Tully Field. Roncalli, your 8th-ranked Royals, 38, is around the corner on the Roncalli Media Network.
Service printing and brand communications company. From creative services and strategy to print, signage, digital output, warehousing and fulfillment, mailing, e-commerce storefronts, and even mobile solutions. They are dedicating to helping their clients get the most out of their brand communication efforts with the quality they can see and results they can be sure of. Get the most out of your brand communications. Certified to be the best, Harding Poorman.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. The Royals getting a much-needed win, a real feel-good win for the 2023 campaign as they improve to 500 on the season. 2-2 on the year. The Indy Teledata postgame show is on. Alongside Dan Lauk, I am Jimmy Cook. I know that you already got it out of your system, and I kind of got it out of my system as well, but coaches are always going to look for things to improve on. And whether or not it was a bit of happy whistle action by the officials, the penalties will be what the penalties are. There's probably a balance there between over-aggressive flags and stuff that really needs to be worked on for the Royals.
Sure.
But we'll leave the coaches to do that.
Yep.
This is a moment of this is what you wanted the Roncalli Royals to be when the season started, and let's build off of that and go from there.
Yeah.
You look at the box score tonight. Roncalli consistent in, dare I say, all three phases, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to point to where you're like, ugh, don't feel good about that going forward. I mean, 375 yards of total offense really unlocked the offense tonight after 2 really tough weeks. And listen, those were 2 really tough defenses they played against. I mean, I didn't see the final score, but Franklin Central's going toe-to-toe with Zionsville. I believe that game was 3-3 at halftime, right? So that's a really good defense. Chittard right now is at 21-10 with Cathedral, who's one of the best teams in the state, if not the country. So you're talking about, I understand the offensive frustration over the past 2 weeks, but when you're a young team, it's really tough to go against those experienced defenses. And then to come out here tonight, this is no disrespect to Southport. This isn't Southport. Columbus North is a very solid team. So to be able to put up 38 points and 375 yards of total offense and doing it both in the air and on the ground, big step forward for the Royals.
Well, we're going to take our first and only break here on the Indy Teledata postgame show. When we return, we will hand out the Indianapolis Fruit Player of the Game and look ahead to next week as the Royals will look to get above 500 for the second time this season, but it'll involve another parochial matchup, this time on the road. Again, our final score in this one from Bob Tully Field, Royals 38, Bulldogs 10, Indianapolis Fruit Player of the Game award, and a look ahead to next week.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals!
At Peterman Brothers, we know how critical AC can be to your comfort. And we want to make sure you're comfortable in every season. That's why right now when you install a qualifying AC system with Peterman Brothers, we'll include the furnace for free. That's right, Indiana. The furnace is free. And if you schedule today, we'll install your new system tomorrow, guaranteed. Visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule online in seconds.
Hi folks, it's Ben Stallings with Beck Service Center. Automotive breakdowns and routine maintenance never come at a good time. Let us help take the stress out of your automotive repairs. With 10 mechanics and 32 bays, we can get you back up and running with minimal downtime. Quality parts, experienced mechanics, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located at the southeast corner of Madison and Edgewood, we are pretty darn good at fixing cars. Let's go Royals.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
When looking for reliable HVAC professionals, look no further than Ane & Bartram Heating and Cooling. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, Ane & Bartram are available to handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Ane & Bartram strive to be the best, so call them today at 317-889-9574. They even have 24/7 emergency service. Call them today, Ane & Bartram, 317-889-9574.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field for the final time tonight. 8th-ranked Royals defeat the Columbus North Bulldogs 28-10. Final segment of the Indy Teledata postgame show with Dan Lauk. I am Jimmy Cook. It's a tradition as old as any Roncalli rivalry. It's the Player of the Game Award, brought to you by Indianapolis Fruit. Dan, in rare waters tonight, maybe 2 recipients of the Player of the Game Award.
Did you read my mind?
You said it at one point already.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
okay, because I was going to say it and I couldn't remember if I did. Yeah,
I mean, I have telepathy too, but no, primarily just you said it already.
Yeah, it's late. I'm losing my mind. But yeah, look, first off, defense, phenomenal again, and Coach Dan Harris has done a really good job with that unit. So they were stout again tonight against a team that's put up 40-plus points their past 2 weeks. So shout out to them. But tonight I'm going on the offensive side of the ball, and I'll start with the sophomore at quarterback, Colin Ash, just so efficient tonight. Threw for 2 touchdowns, 16 of 20 for 157 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, 178.94 quarterback rating. That's his best of the season. He also ran the ball well and ran in for a touchdown. So he's one of the great step forward for Colin. The other one is a player I called out in pregame and said this guy's got to have a big game tonight for the Royals to have success, and he did, and that's Christian Sweezy. And I mentioned it during the game. In a lot of other years when Roncalli's had an established passing attack with a quarterback that's played multiple years, you think back to, the Aiden Leffler years, the Connor Gore, Derek O'Connor, those years where you've got an experienced quarterback that can spread it out, he'd be an all-state kid. He's in a situation right now where he's growing with the team because they've got a sophomore at quarterback that doesn't have a lot of experience, but he's a phenomenal football player, and tonight he gets 4 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Only 1 touchdown. It could have easily been 3. He was tackled inside the 3-yard line twice on big plays. So his big play ability and Colin Ash showing that he can hit that big play is huge for Roncalli. And to just simply put that on film for a team like Guerin, who we'll see next week, is big. So that they can't just load up the box with defenders. They're going to have to defend the pass as much as the run.
That is your Indianapolis Fruit players of the game. Dan already alluded to a little bit there. Up next for the Royals, a parochial matchup on the road against Guerin Catholic, right up near my neck of the woods, in fact. So it'll be you guys driving to me instead of me driving to you, albeit a road game for the Royals. We'll have that for you. 7 o'clock start time, but it'll be a 6:45 pregame. Dan will be along for that ride as well. Should be a fun one. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have the history and the nostalgia that Cathedral or Chittard does, but anytime you get two parochial schools, and of course, to stoke the flames a bit, you get a little north side, south side action going on. Juice will be flowing. It should be a fun one.
Yeah, and they've never beaten Roncalli, Jimmy, and there's been some really competitive games. I was on the staff in 2016, the undefeated team that won a state championship. We had to go up there last game of the season to win the conference, and it was a really close game. I'm sure they've got this game circled on their schedule. They've never beat us. They feel like they have the team to do it this year. They feel like maybe this is a transition year for Roncalli. I don't believe it is, but they might feel that way. And they're going to give it their best shot, especially up there. So it's going to be another tough game on the road against Guerin.
Well, that's going to be a fun one for you. Again, we'll have that game for you. That'll be a 7 o'clock start time for the Royals. 6:45 pregame right here, audio only on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com. The executive directors of the Roncalli Media Network, Therese Carson and Aaron Hummel. Video operations director, the talented A.J. Abalong, doing a wonderful job with his student crew, providing some exceptional shots for you all night long on the Roncalli YouTube channel. Of course, my partner in crime, the great Dan Lauk. I'm Jimmy Cook. Our final in this one, the Royals, a true thrashing displayed against the Columbus North Bulldogs. They defeat Columbus North 38-10 and set up a date with Guerin Catholic next week. Until we talk to you from the north side next Friday night,